Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tombs of Scoria. It has been, what, 1 week?
One
It's
week.
actually not been that long. Never mind. I thought we had been gone longer. Last we left our players, they slaughtered one brown dragon, made the others flee before them. They're using the dragon slaying weapons to great effect. And I think we'll pick up back in the desert where we left off.
Can you give us just a quick, what each dragon slaying weapon is saying? I'm more curious, what mine and Nyx is saying. This is the first time we've seen him talk, really.
A great question. Well phrased and signaled. Well done. I'm just looking up my notes on them. All right. So the spear, Bloodsinger, is clearly the most bloodthirsty of them all. Bloodsinger keeps telling you that they're right here. You should go get them. We can take them out, no problem. You're an epic warrior. I've got your back 100%. Those sorts of things. Just the blind devotion to the attack.
Yeah.
Crawlfort is a little, kind of encouraging in that regards too, but it's a little bit more like giving you directions. Like, okay, now they're 400 feet down. Now they're 500 feet down. Now they're splitting up. Now they're coming back together. Like trying to give you statistical, topographical information to help you with your task. Whirlwind, the bow, is the most quiet of them all. I don't think you're wielding all of them at the same time, but I'll just give you feedback on all of them anyway. Whirlwind is a little bit more quiet and patient, and sometimes gets their energy up a little, but it's more when you have them in hand and are ready to shoot something. The rest of the time, you get like a sense of calm, focused energy from Whirlwind.
Nice.
Harbinger. Harbinger is encouraging you in the same way as Bloodsinger, sort of in that same, we should go after them and get these things. But while Bloodsinger is a little more like, let's fucking nail them to the cross right this moment, Harbinger is a little bit more, this is our plan. We need to assess the situation. We're going to go in here. We're definitely got this down. Let's not worry about that detail. It's kind of small, but here's our plan. Let's go forward. So they each have their own slight personality, with Harbinger being a more of like the leader figure, Bloodsinger being more of like the fucking tip of the spear, I'm going to murder everything in my path voice. Crawlfort being like, I'm encouraging you, but here's the information that you need to make these things happen. And Whirlwind, quiet, calm, ready. We're not really sure about them yet.
I don't know if it's coincidence, but it kind of sounds like each one of these is reflecting of their owner. Right, Anton's spear is the one that's like, let's just go and murder everything. The sword is the leader.
They're in their true hands.
Yeah. Shit, they got away. They buried underneath the earth again. What are we gonna do?
So we always do. One person in the bag of holding, one person riding you, and let's go after them.
All right, Anton, get in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I was muted. Sorry. We're not going to fight them beneath the earth, yeah?
Well, no, but when I dug down there last time, it opened up into a very large chamber where they're nesting. I think that's where we need to be fighting.
And what are you going to do if they don't go back to their chambers, but they just continue to tunnel around?
We'll go get their loot.
Yeah, then we leave, but I imagine they'll try and defend their nest, no?
Okay, so the goal right now is to go beneath the earth, into their lair, check for items that we know they don't have, and then that's it?
And kill them, yeah.
Yeah, they probably have something.
I think they don't, because I could be wrong, but didn't we scry into this lair before and there was nothing down there?
It was dark.
Yeah, it's too dark.
Oh. Okay.
Let's try it. There's not too much to lose. Like, you saw how we slaughtered them. I'm not sure they can put up much to a fight.
Okay.
One of them looked almost dead.
And so what do we do if you're digging beneath and all three that are alive attack you as you're tunneling down? Or there's two alive? Okay.
I don't know. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Encouraging words, my wizard.
Well, I mean, I can't fight them in that form. It may look fearsome, but I don't have the ability to use its
Okay, well,
natural weapons properly.
I take the extra dimensional bags that Anton is holding so that we don't mix because we would never do that. And then
Yeah.
he lays on his back and we slide him into the bag and then we go.
Okay, who's wearing the bag? Shall I wear the bag?
I'll probably wear the bags because it's easiest for me to let him out and everything.
Yeah. Okay, so you wear the bag. I check everything. Everything's fine. I shift into a boule. I open my large gaping maw and allow Tyrael to crawl inside the soft, moist entrance.
Wait a second. How do you dig?
I mean,
He's a boule.
with my hands.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't use your mouth to like do. Okay. All right. Then I'll go.
He's not worming it.
Okay. I like how you shake your head like it's so ridiculous. Like, you don't know how this fictional creature travels beneath the earth? Like, I'm sorry for being such a brain-dead fucking moron, Koibu. Obviously, you would use your hands.
No, you're
Okay.
absolutely right. That
Okay.
was my head shaking, and that was not deserved on your
I
behalf.
I get inside his mouth, feeling incredibly foolish for a moment that I had to
Obviously.
ask him
No,
how he
no,
travels
I
beneath the
actually
earth.
appreciate your deep questioning of these things because like it could move in a lot of different ways, and that is a method of movement for burrowing creatures.
Yeah,
like, you're spot on.
The only reason I asked that is because we had a prior campaign where I think there was a creature that moved that way. He dug through the earth, but he also shit behind him the earth every time. So it was like, yeah, he would do that. But yeah, okay, I understand. I'm in the mouth.
Gotcha.
You certainly are. I take all of them in. Neil.
Who's got which weapons again? Give me a quick reminder.
I have
I've
Blood
got the
Singer.
bow.
You've got the bow. You've got the hammer and the sword. Then
Yeah.
Steven?
Can I, real quick, okay, so we had a little bit of a oopsies last time. So this hammer is a full-size war hammer.
He said he was going to think about it, and he was going to probably.
So
I don't know.
So I know that you said that you have to wield a weapon to hear the voices and all that. Does that include holding it? Because I could hold a weapon in my offhand and just not wield it, like not use it to fight.
You can hold it and not use it to fight, and then continue to speak with it.
Did
Okay.
he still get his AC?
Was one-handed weapon style. I think he should.
Because I'm not using it as a shield or anything. It'd be like holding a light
Right.
stone, I would imagine.
Right, you can still then, you wouldn't even need to hold it necessarily by the handle. You could hold it at the most advantageous, you could hold it around its center of mass, and it would essentially be like having your hand free.
Sure. Okay. All right. Gotcha.
fine.
So I'm no longer dual wielding the hammer. I'm holding it so that
Right.
I can do. Yeah. I can
Right.
Okay. So yep.
So the two of you burrow into the depths.
Yeah, 3 of us.
Okay. The three of you. Oh, Mooten, you did get reduced and tossed in.
No,
I did not
he's
get
just in the
reduced.
bag
I'm
of
just in
holding.
the bag of holding.
You're in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
On Tyrael's
With-
back. Tyrael's in the mouth. You guys
Yeah.
are burrowing. Got it. So Tyrael, you will hear Crawlforth the Hammer telling you where these dragons are. And it appears that they burrowed down about 500 feet. And now that you guys have started to burrow, they're moving in opposite directions, sort of like perpendicular or parallel to the surface, just staying around 500 feet down and going one left and one right.
If I talk inside of your mouth, can you hear me?
I don't know.
Probably.
If you talk or punch him in the mouth and get his attention, he can stop moving, and then you can shout, and he can hear you.
Okay.
But he has to
Sits
stop
down.
moving to do it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you where they are. Yeah. Approximately. But we're just descending down into their lair. So.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
I let out a roar. I close my mouth again. I keep digging. Just try and get into the breakout into the cavern that I was in that time. Oh, but only 10 minutes ago, really.
What?
Does he make it there, Koibu?
Sorry, I missed. I looked away for a moment to check something, and I missed the question.
I'm just digging. I'm trying to get back into the opened up cavern that I went into last time when I was attacked.
Right. Yes, you can burrow down and get into the opened up cavern below. You will, by the time that you are there, the two other creatures are 500 feet, one to your left, one to your right. The
Yes.
cavern is open and it is black
I
as the void.
open my mouth, let Tyrael out, and then spend a round turning back into me. And then I'll pull out a light stone.
Mm-hmm.
In fact,
can
I'll
see
pull out
that-
2 light stones and I'll
Do I get
throw
pulled
one.
out of the bag or no?
Yeah. I can pull them out. Yeah.
I'll throw one deeper into the cavern and have one in my hand, hopefully trying to illuminate a great deal of it.
It is a roughly dome-shaped cavern. It's maybe 100 feet by 100 feet by, maybe 30 feet up or something like that. There's some connecting columns that help support the ground above it. This area is not sand down here, but it is clay and earth. So it's pretty solid. There is a big nest in the very middle of the room that sort of dips down a little bit. Looks like multiple dragons might be cozy and curl up in here. And otherwise, it is blank and featureless. There are no trophies. There is no wealth. There are no carcasses or remains. The only thing here, aside from the earth, the clay, yourselves, and the lightstone, are scales. Hundreds and hundreds of brown dragon scales litter this room. They almost look like they've been not quite arranged, but spread out evenly. So there's not like a pile of them here. It's like they're kind of decorate the ground all over.
When you talk about like nest real quick, is it obvious like one sleeps here, one sleeps here, one sleeps here? My next question is going to be, can I figure out like about how many I would expect to be nesting down here?
It's more of just like a dip in the ground, and you can see like scratch marks, and there's tail marks, and there's claw marks all around it. So it's clear that things go in and out of it. But, it's like a pile of cats. If you got, a box, you can fit one cat in here. But you could also fit 4 cats in here because they'll just pile on top of each other. So it's a little hard to tell how many might be here unless you were a really, really good tracker.
Okay.
Seeing nothing here, I say, it occurs to me they could try and collapse this on us, or there's nothing here. We should leave. I've got another plan when we get back to the surface. They came for the dead one's body last time. I've got a way that we can hide and wait, see if they come back for it. And then I'll turn back into a boule and open my mouth expectantly.
Yeah, okay. I'll open the bag and then we can do that.
All right.
Why would we do that instead of just waiting for them down here?
Because they might collapse it on us.
Okay.
I dig us back up to the surface, Neil.
Yep. You burrow back up with 2 men in your mouth and arrive at the top.
I go to the corpse of the dead brown dragon and let them out and shift back into me. Once everyone's back on their feet, I will reach into my robes and pull out a rope, incant some words, and it'll shoot straight up 50 feet or 20 feet into the air. And then we probably need to stash the bag of holding somewhere, bury it underground here for this to work.
What are we stashing the bag for?
We're about to go into an extra dimensional space to hide for a few hours.
Didn't we agree that wouldn't fuck shit up?
It won't fuck up my robes, but I think it will fuck up a bag of holding, right, Neil? I mean, we did go into one in Hardcore Heroes once and it didn't blow up, but that was probably just an oversight.
Let me double check some text on that spell.
Assume you know what spell I'm talking about.
Yeah. The one with the rope in the extra dimensional space?
Yes. It's not too many spells it could be, I suppose.
Because I don't think we're ever just leaving our bag of holding on the ground.
The upper end is,
who's gonna
in
take
fact,
The brown dragons?
Or just some random...
positioned into extra dimensional space.
Hmm.
And the bag of holding, I think, very clearly says cannot take into extra dimensional space, which I assume means rope trick. Actually, that's not in the bag of holding description. Where is that rule, Nick?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. It's just always a thing that I've just assumed was true. Maybe it's not a rule.
It's gotta be. I know I've read it somewhere once upon a time. There we go.
Yeah.
If a bag of holding is placed within a portable hole, a rift to the astral plane is torn in space, and the bag and the cloth are sucked into the void and lost forever. If a portable hole is placed within a bag of holding, it opens a gate to another plane, and the hole, the bag, and any creatures in a 10-foot radius are drawn into the astral plane, the portable hole and bag of holding being destroyed in the process.
All right, so
Portable hole.
Is it literally just portable holes and bags of holding? I thought it was all extra-dimensional space.
Well, it makes sense because you can't really break the game with rope trick and a bag of holding, but you could break the game with a bag of holding and portable hole.
You'd need a lot of bags of holding to make that happen.
Yeah, but I mean, you could though, right? You could level into infinite space.
All right. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, the rope stands erect, pointing into the sky, and I say,
climb.
"Come with me if you want to live." And I climb up the rope. And as I get to the top of the rope, I peel back an invisible curtain and climb into this hidden space floating in the air.
Climb as well.
All right, you guys climb into the rope-tricked area. The duration is 2 turns per level. You're level
3
9.
hours.
3 hours. Long time.
Real quick, how long does our oil of acid stuff last? We don't want to get
Well,
So
still
that's
got-
8 hours per person. We've
Okay.
probably been doing this for like 30 minutes, I think.
Okay.
And then minus the damage that was prevented.
It was
I had
so
it written
small,
down
yeah.
for me, but yeah, it's
I had like 466 or something still left.
yeah. We've got multiple hours. It's fine. I've got 436 minutes left, which is 7 hours. So you should all have about that.
Okay. While you're up here, you can hear the spear saying, "What are you waiting for? This is bullshit. We'll just chase them down one at a time. We don't need to get them both at the same time. You can hunt them down. You can exhaust them. Get them. This is a stupid fucking plan. It's a plan for
I'll
little
explain to
bitches
the spear.
who don't have..."
That we can't. They move too quickly. We just can't catch them. We won't be able to exhaust them. We'd exhaust ourselves first. This is the best plan that we have.
You're right. You got a shitty wizard. If you had a good wizard, you could find them pretty quickly. You know how hard it is to find a dragon in space and time? Not that hard when you've got a magic fucking hammer that can find it. And a good wizard could get you wherever you needed to go pretty quickly. All right, you're a cleric. What else do you got? You've got some
I'll explain to it if it
unfailing
doesn't
endurances?
cease. If it doesn't cease, that I will lock the spear up and it will never kill any dragons.
Are you threatening me?
I put it inside my amulet.
Nice one, Moon. Show who's boss.
Okay. The hammer, meanwhile, is just saying, every 10 minutes something like still 500 feet to the left, 500 feet to the right. The bow and the sword are quiet. They sit there. After maybe 20 minutes, the sword gives you a little, this might work. It might not. How quickly did they come back for the other body?
I believe it was a matter of hours last time, although we didn't observe it firsthand. But when we returned the day after, the body was gone, so...
It's a clever idea. I like it. Ambushes. Very useful.
Well, when you're in your tiny humans killing giant magical dragons, sometimes clever ideas are needed.
Wise.
So we don't
Power
even
and-
need to be looking out, right? Because we'll know when they're here because of the hammer. Yeah?
The hammer will indicate that it needs to either be on the outside of the extra dimensional space or Tyrell needs to be slightly on the outside. So it just needs to hang near the hole. It can't read
Okay.
across dimensions.
Sure, okay. So Tyrell can keep an eye out at the entrance.
Yeah. And let's see what happens here. All right. After about 45 minutes or so, the two dragons meet back up in the lair directly below you guys. The hammer relays this information to you. And another 20 minutes later, one of them begins to come towards the surface. It reaches the surface a
Well,
few minutes later.
When it drags it down, we know the inside of the lair. We have our teleportation candles. Could we not just teleport in when they're inside and get the drop on them there? We got a good look at the nest. We should just be able to teleport right onto there.
Teleport into the nest. Yeah, we could do that.
And kill them when they're unaware.
If
Or
we
should we just
open
drop
the-
on this one?
No, I think that's a good idea. We'll wait for it to go down and then catch them when they're unawares down there. We could also just kill this one and then teleport down there and kill the last while he waits. Might be safer.
Do you, Tyrael?
Wait, so can we use the teleport magic to get back beneath?
Yeah, I think so. We've all saw the nest, right? We saw it clearly.
We all saw the nest. We looked at it
We were
clearly.
in there, we walked around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any downside. So we wait for them to go down, we teleport down there, we just kill them, right?
Why not just kill this one on the surface first? We get 2 chances at it then.
Well, then we're never killing that one's beneath because they're not going to come up to get the body, right?
Well, we kill this one and then we teleport down there and kill the other one. You said it's down there, right?
Yeah. Oh, does the hammer, are they all down in their nest right now? I missed that part, sorry.
One's down there. One's
One
coming up.
is.
One's down there,
Yeah.
one's up. Okay. In that case, yeah, we can just do that. There's no reason not to. Yeah.
I just worry that if we don't get the drop on it, like we don't actually kill it, then they're just gonna be spooked for the rest of the day.
As soon as it
Same
starts
could
to
be said
dip, we
about down
teleport
there.
down. We can teleport down there quicker than the.
Sure. And it won't
Actually,
affect them.
actually, you know what? Never mind. When we were down there before, we didn't see like a rotting dragon corpse or anything, did we? Or like a pile of bones or anything? Okay, so
No.
maybe when they take this down, maybe there's some ritual they go through with it. Maybe they start eating it or feasting on the corpse or something, and it feeds them. And then while they're busy doing that, then we can go down and attack them because they'll be a little bit distracted. Maybe that would be better.
Okay.
Okay. A few minutes
All right.
later, the first brown dragon reaches the surface, and then it hovers like right below the surface, inches below. The hammer will tell you it's really close. And if you look out through the extra dimensional space, you can see these like tiny tufts of air are occasionally blowing like little bits of sand. That the hammer lets you know is like the dragon's blowing little holes and then moving its eyes there to just have its eyes above the sand. And you can see these like tufts start maybe 100 feet away, and then like 75 feet away, the dragon gets a little bit closer and looks above the sand, and gets a little bit closer and looks above the sand, making the smallest of openings in the sandy surface with its nostrils and its eyes, until it gets right up next to the dragon. And then it burrows underneath, and it begins to slowly push sand out of the way and sink the body of the dragon that's on top. But it's a pretty slow process. It takes like half an hour for it to get like the tail inside. Looks like it's going to be doing this probably all day.
Is there a way that does this dragon look injured? Is this
You
one?
know you fucked them both up before, but you haven't been able to see anything of this dragon at all to see if it's still injured or if it's somehow healed itself.
So it's still like well below the sand, right? It's basically just dragging it into the sand from below itself.
It's finding some way to create space and tug the other one down.
But is it
Yeah.
so? It's doing this from beneath the sand right now.
Why don't we just teleport into the lair and kill the other one and wait for it?
Well, he's gonna know we're down there, right?
Would he?
He should, because they feel like the vibrations and shit, right?
Well, I would agree with that normally, but he's kind of focused on doing this. He might have
Maybe
fucked
I
his
won't.
own vibrations up, but
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go down and kill the other one then. That's fine.
I think the
Can we
most likely
teleport from in
scenario is
here? We should be able to if we just open the door a bit.
you should absolutely be able to.
Yeah, you'd have to just step out of the portal, because you're sort of extra dimensional space is almost like another plane, and you can't teleport in or out of it. So
What if we open the curtain and stand right by the exit?
like your arms are outside of the space, but your bodies are inside the space.
Or we hang our legs out, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I have no fucking idea.
Can't we just hop out and teleport down? What does he care if he hears us on the surface? It's not like.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure. He might retreat. He won't know, will he? Okay, fine.
That might
Yeah.
even be beneficial for us if we
Yeah,
hop out.
maybe.
He retreats down, we teleport down.
Get the image of the nest in your head before we jump out so we can go straight away.
I have the image of the brown dragon nest.
All right, we all hold hands.
Tyrell has a lightstone out.
Sure. Yeah, I can take it a light stone and hold it in my. Well, no, you should, or somebody else should, because I'm holding the hammer. Or
Okay, I can hold
it. I can hold
he's got it. I pull out hard blood singer.
is it
Okay.
Is it Harbinger or Harbringer?
Harbinger.
Bringer.
Bringer?
Harbinger.
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 Okay, all right. So I think I've heard this name said like 3 different ways. Okay, Harbinger. All right.
Okay.
So we jump down. Light the
You
candle.
jump down. You have
Teleport.
the candle. How do you light it?
We've got.
Candle of ever burning.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the candle of ever burning lit beforehand. Hop down.
Yeah, we have
Oh,
candles
it's
that we
a,
can.
it's a snappy one.
Yeah.
Malachi's
perfect.
candle.
Yeah, Malachi's candle. There you go. Snap, light, and you're all thinking of that same space. No checks needed. Instantly, you're in the dragon's lair, and we're rolling for initiative. I will roll a d10 to see if the dragon is surprised. Possibly is.
How
Some
could it
might
not
say
be?
more
How could it
likely
not
than
be?
not.
Yeah.
Well, there are plenty of ways it could not be. Come on now. It's a many 100-year-old dragon.
I agree with that.
Its family was just murdered by people who shape change and, burrow into the ground. It's pretty clear that there might be some sort of teleportation or plane shifting or dimensional folding going on. Okay, Dragon Below rolls at initiative. Fuck ton. All right.
My action is going to be a charge
Shit,
with
nice.
Bloodstinger.
Okay, so I would think this dragon has about a 50%. Normally, a chance of being surprised is only 30%. But considering all the other factors here, I would give you guys a bonus of 2 on your surprise roll, which is pretty good. Usually, monsters inflict like a bonus of 1 on surprise penalties when they're good ambushers. So 6 and above, it is not surprised on a d10. It is a 2. You guys appear. The dragon snaps its head up immediately, lets out like a wail of surprise as Imric does something.
No, Tyrael got a
Tyrael.
6, not a 15.
Yep. Shit, I don't know why this
yes,
is...
Tyrael. Something.
Do we still have all of the other spells? Bless, Resuscitation, or is that worn off by
No.
now?
This
No,
would all
they
be
won't
worn
off.
Nope. Okay, gotcha. I'll run forward to attack the dragon then. That's what I rolled for, yeah?
Are you charging?
Yeah.
Do I get a charge? Is it long enough? Can I...
Probably not. I think that the dragon is, well, yeah, you guys would probably appear near the middle of the lair. The dragon is, what is this? This is 40% of 50 feet is like 25 feet away. Less than that, 20 feet away.
So no.
So no, I think you need 30 feet for a charge.
Don't need it, Koibu. Fuck, yes I did.
Whack! Your sword clatters against its armor with no effect. Imric.
20 damage.
Oh, it dies.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. Whole bunch of magic missiles go right through its head. The whole thing just clumps into the ground, and one huge flop leaking ooze from its face. You could hear the bones splitting as the magic missiles impacted. And then instantly, Crawlfor is telling you the other dragon's abandoned the body. It's burrowing down and sideways. It's away from us at an angle, at top speed.
It's
Is it
burrowing
fleeing,
down.
Tyrael?
Away from us? Is that what he said? Like it's going in a different...
Yes, when you seem to question what that means, it is going away from the surface at a 45-degree angle opposite from us.
Oh. Yeah, it seems as though it knows we're down here and now it's fleeing, yeah.
Anton's gonna walk near the dragon body, act like he's gonna attack it with the spear, stop himself, and just tell the spear that it serves him. See how it reacts.
Yes, my liege. As long as you continue to slay these beasts, I will serve you.
It'll stab the dragon body that's already dead with the spear.
Spear shimmies in your hand.
So what now? There's one left.
Well, there's at least one left. We don't know how many other live in here, but... It seems as though, for now, we're probably done here.
Yeah. Let's come back after we go kill the green dragon and gnome.
How big are these dragon heads? Can we take this with us?
All right. Let's step out of combat music. Age class 5, young adult, dragon, body length of 55 feet. I would say its head is about 10 feet long.
But probably.
Like, you could drag them behind you on a sled or something.
If Tyrael is enlarged, to 90%.
Do we want to take these heads back with us? That's my question.
I mean, what are you using it for? Azeron's head is currently rotting in our old basement.
No, that one
No,
should have been
it's
moved in
with
the capital.
Queen.
Yeah.
It's with the queen. That's moved.
Oh,
in.
is it?
There must be a way to
Yep.
preserve. What do you call those people that stuff animals and shit?
Taxidermists.
Yeah, there must be a way to do that with a dragon head. Yeah.
Taxidermist, yeah.
Totes.
Sure.
I think it'd be cool decorations for our house to have fucking dragon heads everywhere.
Yeah, if we move them to the red, to my people, we can get it ferried across back to the capital. Almost guaranteed.
My polymorph spell, if it's still active, will be running out very
I have
soon.
nap.
Okay.
What was the duration of polymorph?
Like 3
About 3 hours.
Okay, yeah, then you are probably out by now because it took, I think, 3 hours for you to.
Yeah.
No, it's got to be more than 3 hours because it took
No.
you almost 3 hours to get here,
No.
didn't it? No. Okay.
Well, I mean, it might have, but we only spent 10 minutes once we got there, you know. So it probably
Yeah,
ran
but
out
then
while
you were
we
in the bag of
portable
the
hole.
extra dimensional space for a while, so it's
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, so it's gone now, yeah.
It's gone now,
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Well, why don't we nap down here and maybe it'll come back, maybe not, and then we can leave.
Sure. But if it starts collapsing, you're gonna immediately amulet us out.
I'll be asleep, so
Okay. Oh,
you
well,
can amulet us out.
yeah.
I'll take the amulet stuff and hand it to you.
I'll
Yeah,
hand
that
it to
should be fine.
Tyrael.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'll nap Imric then.
Once the dragon gets down to about 500 feet below you, Tyrael, at that angle, it just goes directly away. So it's about 1,000 feet below the surface and beelining away from you.
Okay.
Eventually, it'll get out of range. It'll take some time for it to get out of range, but eventually, Crawlfort will lose track of it. In the meanwhile, Imric sleeps via nap,
Yep.
and an hour later, y'all ready to go.
All right. Do we just want to? Should we just teleport back home? Or do you
We want
go
to take
and-
these dragon heads. We want to take one of them at least.
Oh, also, make sure you mark an inch off the candle, please.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, sure. I get that, Anton. But how do you want to get them home?
Polymorph yourself up. Take us all up, and then we'll just drag the one.
Back to the
Well, I
rift?
think-
Yeah, but then how do we
I
get
don't-
it? How do we get it back from the coast?
Just walk it.
No, I mean.
Oh, back
to
from the
Lickmore,
coast.
right there.
We have boats. My Velthara people have boats, so they'll just carry it over.
Take us to Kershwick. Okay.
Then from Kershwick, you can easily go up the rivers to the capital.
Yeah.
All right. Same deal then. I boule out of there, and then we'll turn into a Pegasus.
Is
and
it possible
flyers.
to bring the other head up, Koibu, when he's bullying up?
The other head is really fucking big.
No. Wait. I will. If we really want it, I'll cast Reduce on it.
Yeah.
Put it in one of my pockets.
There you go.
Then boule it to the surface, and then we can
Becomes-
drag them both.
Yeah, because then it's only 1 foot wide, 1 foot long, or whatever.
Yeah. Cool.
Easy peasy. And
I
we can sort of
can-
hand wave the rest
Yeah,
of this because there's no more encounters in the Red Desert that are worth mentioning. You can get back to the coast where your people are. We just spent a lot of time last session talking with them and working out what you're going to do with them. So, it's easy for them to ferry the heads over. If you guys want to go with the heads, you can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days to get back home. If you want to magic yourselves back home, you can get home faster. Whatever you guys
No,
want.
we want to be in Kershwick anyway, right? So if we get to Kershwick, Neil, like if they're taking it home, we can go with them to Kershwick. We'll wait there.
Yeah.
Where are we going from Kershwick? Where is this?
Oh
island
no,
with the-
sorry, Cronwick. It was Cronwick we're going to. Sorry, my mistake.
Well, we gotta go to. We can go from Kershwick over to Cronwick.
Yeah, you'd go Kershwick to Whalers Bay and then up the coast, or up the river to Cronwick.
Is that fine, Nick? We go to
Yeah,
Kershwick and then we'll cover up because I kind of want to do a quick Velthara thing and then.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Cool.
Sure.
What's in Cronwick?
The lady who got her house back. Oh, what's in Cronwick? Sorry. Cronwick is how we're
that
gonna.
was in Kershwick that
Correct.
that the lady needed her house.
That's where I'm going to do the Velthara thing. Cronwick is how we get to Birkin with a candle.
100 miles, so it's only 1 inch.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, to Kershwick you go, and 3 days later, after meeting up with your people, they're so honored to see that you're entrusting them with shipping these giant dragon heads. They praise your magnificence for slaying the dragons of the Red Desert, creatures that have haunted these coasts for hundreds of years now. It only further cements your position as the true leader of not only the people of the Red Coast, but of the entire Shallow Sea in their eyes.
I'll tell them
But
to
3 days
spread the
later-
word to the other cities.
Oh. They haven't really stopped their raiding of these random isles here. There's little villages scattered throughout the Spice Isles and along the Red Coast, and a couple of little villages over near Akuba. These people have always raided all of these areas for a little bit of wealth, and they've been letting people know that Velthara's got their back, and they will let them know that Velthara's Dragon Slayer leads them, even if he's not here to like lead this particular raid, because he's got off doing better things like slaying dragons. And they will spread the word for sure.
I'll give like the leader, whoever does the raiding that isn't already with me or whatever, one of the dragon teeth. Have it as a
Sweet.
necklace or something.
He will have his people fashion it around as a necklace around his throat, and he will open up his shirt a couple of extra buttons so it can definitely dangle there and let everyone see it. And then some days later, you're in the dock district of Kershwick.
I will go and check up with the lady, see if she got her place back.
Yes. Yes, she did. We had a month for this, right? And then you
Yeah.
guys spent a little bit more than a month doing this, I think.
It's probably been like 40 days.
Wait, that includes our
Yeah.
time in the capital, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably been like 37 days thinking about it.
Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Great. She says that she did indeed get her property back. It had already been torn down and converted into most of a warehouse, and that the person who had this Richard fellow who had swindled her out of her house let the workers finish the construction on the warehouse. So now instead of having a house, she has a warehouse, which, you know, can't be avoided. It was already being torn down and built.
I mean, we live in a warehouse.
Arguably more
anyways.
valuable, you know,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Do you feel that's
Open
a
plan
good
living,
deal?
isn't it?
I don't
You guys
know.
are living in a
It's-
warehouse?
It's fine. She got paid for it. Anton was willing to go and fuck this guy up. So in his mind, he didn't need to do the vengeance. The threat of vengeance was enough. So some people would call this justice, but Anton is completely cool with it being his vengeance because he was, in his heart of hearts, he was going to go and fuck that guy up. So the guy feared him enough that vengeance was sought, and he's happy with it. He tells the girl to only worship Velthara, and good things will come.
He also tells you that the very same foreman who delivered the letter to her, letting her know about the property exchange, told her that if you should come by again, the foreman has a message for you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready to receive the message. Oh, he didn't give it to her?
No. The foreman's got the message.
Where's
she's
he
not
at?
entrusted with the shit. She'll give you locations for his place in town, or not his place, his place of work in town.
I'll head on over.
Okay. A little early, but let's take a break right now, and we'll be back on the other side with some more Tombs of Scoria.
We'll be back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tombs of Scoria. On our way to go see the foreman to hear about this message, we're gonna do a quick flashback to when we were on the boats, which you were on for like 2 days, and it seems that Anton has some chit chat to make.
I'm gonna cast as many as 12 Speak with Deads if need be.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot of Speak with Deads. I mean, I can cast 20, I think. It's 2 days.
Can everybody speak with the dead? Or is it just the person casting the spell?
It's probably just me, but you guys can ask your questions and I'll ask them as well. So if you have any. My first question is going to be, what happened to your parents?
Excellent question. Mother left when I was a little hatchling.
What about your father?
Gone before I broke from my shell.
Do you know of any other dragons nearby?
Yes.
What type of dragons are they?
Brass, blue, red, green.
Where is the green dragon?
Paradise Island.
Where is the red dragon?
Dragon Peak on the Stony Ridge.
Okay, that'll be like three of them. I'll ask the Tyrion and Emmerich. Do you have any questions?
I don't think
Ask
so.
where its mother went to.
Where did your mother go?
I don't know, okay? I just don't know.
Did you hear about Azeron the Blue being slain?
No.
Did you guys have any magical items?
Now you're just rubbing it in.
Okay. Have you heard of a yellow dragon?
No.
Do you know what's on Sleeping Dragon Island?
No.
Okay, that'll be it. That was the flashback, everybody. It's beautiful.
All right.
All right.
Paradise Island, where is that?
Paradise Island is the island that Gnome is. The
yeah.
mighty Gnomish nation of mighty engineers is on Paradise Island, which,
Got it.
you know.
Real quick,
name?
are brown dragon scales used to make good armor or no? Should we have picked up some of those or do we just not care anymore?
It'd be
Not
like
very good.
trash armor. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Then to Nome is essentially where we're headed, right? We're going to Kershwick, then from Kershwick. Or no, are we already in Cronwick? We already did that, or
We're in Kershwick.
We're
I'm
still in
doing the
Kershwick.
foreman shit, and then we're gonna go to Cronwick.
And then we'll go
Yeah,
teleport,
well,
yeah.
let's talk about the foreman. Because the foreman has a letter to you. The letter is from this man, Richard, who was doing all the property stuff. And the letter simply says, I am sorry to have made your displeasure. I hope I have made things right. I will be in the capital and have arranged a meeting with your matriarch on the weekend of the 10th and the 11th.
That
If
is
you can
past.
attend, no, that is this weekend actually. That's in today is this 8th. So no, I can't read. Today's the 6th.
Okay.
And it's a Tuesday. I have a meeting that I have arranged an appointment with your matriarch this weekend on the 10th and 11th. I understand you are busy and may not be able to attend, but if you can, I would dearly love to speak to you. Forever your fan, Richard.
I'll ask my brothers if they care. I'll explain the whole situation about the lady losing her house, me wanting to do some good that Tyrell, is imparted in me. Me getting the guy to give his house back because he swindled her, and now the guy wants to have a meeting. He's going to meet with their mother. I assume he's a noble. At least this is like written with noble tongue. I asked him if he's interested.
to go and meet?
Well, I don't think
Or go ahead.
I don't think we should divert our plans, but I could project myself there to attend the meeting.
That'd be cool.
Saves us traveling back.
You can
Cool,
do
that
what
works.
to attend the meeting?
Project myself.
Is that would that be seen as like a faux pas, or is it
unless
okay?
it's-
That'd be like,
You
we're
wouldn't
dragon
even know.
slayers. We got shit to do. We can't attend in person, but we're gonna
Yeah.
show up, so it's nice.
It's like attending a party on Zoom.
Yeah, that's
where
what I'm
everyone else
thinking.
is
Like if
available.
everyone's sitting at the table and there's like an iPad set up and you've got a guy like
It's
working. in the
better than
back-
that.
But that would be like Will Smith attending your party on Zoom when he has no reason to be there, right? So it'd be like a celebrity showing up at least. So it's kind of cool.
What was the date for when they wanted us to be at this, whatever this
The
was?
11th?
The
12th.
weekend of the 10th and the 11th.
And what date are we at right now?
The 6th. Yeah. It's Tuesday. On Saturday or Sunday, he's meeting with your mom.
On Saturday or Sunday. See, the thing is, I won't know exactly what time. So I think one of these days that we're in Kershvik, I'll project self back home and go and ask Mother if she knows what time this guy.
yes.
So I turn up in my bedroom.
Is it?
Is
Can
what?
I open the door? Can I
Can't
open the door?
No.
Can I walk through the door?
Let's see. Speak here on behalf of the caster. Keeps their eyes closed. Caster says. Projection does. Oh, the project self, you have to project somewhere you can see, and then you can walk the distance. So you couldn't project from here to Kershway.
I could
To the
clairvoyance and then do it,
Oh, yeah.
which I do have learned. So
Right. But you cannot interact with things.
Just clairvoyance in the main
dispelled
room.
by-
where Mom
yeah.
is.
Okay, yeah. So I clairvoyance into the dining room or the main sitting room or whatever into the house, and then I'll project self into that
You
instead.
startle one of the servants who drops a plate, screams as all of a sudden like a phantom version of you appears right in front of them. And then
Isabella,
backs
calm
up.
down. It's fine.
So sorry. I'm so sorry, Lord. My Lord.
Don't worry. Could you get my mother, please?
Of course. And
you.
she scurries off. And maybe 10 minutes later, down comes your mother, huffing and puffing, Isabella by her side. She bursts into the room and looks surprised to see you and takes a couple steps forward and goes, you're home, Emmerich.
Hello, mother.
She goes to
Unfortunately,
give you
not
a
home.
hug.
I take a few steps back. You cannot touch me. I'm but an illusion.
Oh,
New magic.
some fancy new type of magic.
Indeed, yes. And the reason I'm here is because we've heard that you have a meeting with a man named Richard this weekend.
Yes, we have settled that matter, or settled the date at least. Will you be able to attend? There
We won't
are
be returning to
undoubtedly.
the capital, but I can do this spell and attend the meeting. But I
This
don't
is
know
when
the
we're on the
time.
boat from Kershwick to Kronwick, yeah? Koibu?
This is the either that same day or the next day. We haven't figured that out yet, but I don't think it matters.
Okay, goal is to go from Kershwick to Kronwick, so just
Right. Gotcha.
Unfortunately, I would need to know the time of the meeting.
How long are you limited to this form?
Are you looking at the spell description, Neil? I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up.
Oh, concentration.
So just as long as I want, really.
Yeah.
I can do it all day, but we have traveling and other things to attend to.
Damn, you can
Of
visit
course,
your
of
ladies.
The Saturday or the Sunday?
It will be dinner Saturday evening at the fourth bell.
Okay, well, no need to make me any food, as unfortunately I won't be able to partake, but I shall be there.
Your brothers will attend as well, or just you?
Alas, just me, mother, I'm afraid. This, I can't confer this ability to others.
Well, do extend my love. How goes your whatever it is you're off doing?
Very well, yes,
Oh,
successful.
tell her about the skulls coming.
Good idea, yeah. We've slain some brown dragons in the Red Desert. We've sent their heads back to the capital. You should expect their arrival.
I also ask her about my
Splendid.
people if they're there. It's been like a month, so. They shouldn't be there, actually. Maybe they should, I don't know.
I'll ask Lotha
Are
next
these to
time.
be displayed prominently or kept for in our personal warehouse?
I think for now, just get them seen to by a taxidermist. And we'll decide what to do with them once we have a chance to return home.
It's funny. I don't think I've ever heard of a brown dragon before this. I thought they were just red, green, blue, white, black.
They're strange. They're not. I mean, they are dragons, but they don't fly. They burrow under the sand. Cowardly. Not quite as impressive as Azeron the Blue, but
I see.
a fearsome creature nonetheless.
Well, I'm sure you must be busy. I know I am. I've got to
Yes.
get back to my discussions upstairs.
I shall walk towards her and go to embrace her in a hug, and then as soon as we touch, I disappear.
She says, I'll give your father my regards as she embraces you, and you'll disappear, and she'll
Our
disappear.
dad's
and-
dead.
wait,
Was that a
what?
misspeak?
So I disappear back into the ship with those words ringing in my ears, looking confused. I'm probably in a different room because I've walked around a few steps, maybe not a different room, a different spot than I was. I don't know if like Anton's there. I just make a funny face and said, Mother just said she'd give our father our regards.
This motherfucker.
Literally.
But wait, what? It can't be the Wraith. We killed it.
Are we really gonna have to teleport back home?
I'll check in again tomorrow.
Well, I can nap you right now, and you can go figure this out.
I guess so. Yeah, fine.
I nap you.
I'll go to sleep.
I'm guessing she's just used to saying it, but
Wait, what did she say?
I'll give
Did
your
she
father
say-
my regards.
What did
or
she
your
say?
regards.
Give your father my regards. Maybe it's a joke because I'm a ghost.
Oh, I thought she said I'll give your father your regards.
Yeah, but I'm not sure.
Well, if you're napped, you're gonna go back and figure out the joke.
I go to sleep. I wake up an hour later. I project self back into the room. I scare the same servant. She probably drops another bowl. Right after she's just finished cleaning the first one. Isabella, I'm sorry. Could you get my mother again, please?
Of course, Lord.
you.
Emmerich. And she scurries off. Another like 10-minute wait. She comes back into the room.
Mother,
Back so soon.
sorry to interrupt. I know you're busy. Something you said when I was leaving there. You said you'd give father my regards. You do realize father is dead, right?
Well, of course.
So, just with everything that's happened, I'm a little bit concerned. So maybe you could just explain what you meant.
Right. Of course. He's been writing me letters.
Who has?
Father.
Your father?
Your father. The love of my life, my husband.
Crazy bitch.
The man who raised you.
Can I see these? Can I see these letters? Could you bring them to me? Maybe one that's not explicit or something. Sorry, I don't mean to imply. I shouldn't have said that.
Emmerich.
I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I forgot myself.
She brings you down a stack of letters. Opens the last one to you. It's got tied with a little bit of twine. Opens it and holds it before you so you can see it.
With Dad's signia?
No, it's not sealed with his ring.
I read that. What does the letter say?
Oh, it sounds like one of the letters that he might have written when he was at the front. My dearest lady, it's been long since I've seen you, and I appreciate all the things that you've done. Your fond memory keeps me going, blah, blah, blah.
When did you receive this one, Mother?
This one came yesterday. And I write him back as well.
That's interesting. Well, I'm a little bit confused because
With all the things you've seen, my dear son, you should understand that communication from the other side is still possible.
not like this. How do they get here, these letters?
They arrive via Cleric of Verasi.
Oh, that's not good.
What? They transcribe them for you?
No, I give them a letter. I place it into the cleric's hand. The cleric takes it and magics it to your father. And then he sends the cleric a message, which the cleric writes down and comes to the door and hands it to me. And then I read it. I thought you know how letters worked.
What's the name of this cleric of yours that's been doing this?
Stanley.
Better not be Mother Janice. Okay.
Stan. What did you say now?
Stanley.
Stanley. That's not the cleric of Verasi that wrote me a letter and sent us the potions, is it?
It is not. No.
Okay, so I'm from Wicthron. Would I have known of this cleric of Verasi? He's just like a guy.
No. No, and by the name, you know that this is a person who wasn't a noble. Nobles have a first name and a last name, so this is clearly some like lower class person who was, divine enough to become a cleric of Verasi.
Stanley have a temple in town, or do you know where they live? I'd like to. This seems like powerful magic. I'm sure Anton would like to learn more.
I thought that speaking with dead was a power accessible to all clerics.
Usually requires some portion of the remains.
Oh. Well.
Did you give Stanley something of father's? A hairbrush?
No,
perhaps,
but perhaps he arranged this ahead of time before his death.
How did
Sent a cleric
come
something in case he died so he could still communicate from the other side. Your father was a very thoughtful man.
Did you did you seek this Stanley out, or did they seek you out?
No, the first letter arrived, a month ago? Something like
Can I see
that,
the-
too?
can I
I
see
can't
the
remember
first one?
exactly when.
Does he talk
Emmerich.
about what it's like to be dead?
He says that he is at peace and that he wishes I were there with him, and he will wait patiently for me to join him when my time is up. I don't think you should read the rest of the letter, though.
Fair enough. Well, I suppose it's harmless, Mother. But make sure this Stanley is someone you can trust. We'll talk about this more when
He's
the
a
three of us
cleric.
return. Not all clerics are trustworthy. Anton's made mistakes. This Stanley could make mistakes.
Not true.
I don't think someone mistakenly receives messages from the afterlife, son.
Sure, but they could look to scam a grieving widow.
She considers your apparition for a moment and then waves one of the letters in your face and
Yeah.
breaks the spell.
Does Emmerich convey this to me?
Yeah.
So, with my clerical understanding, I'm at 18 wisdom, Koibu. Do I take this as like something that you can use the speak with dead spell to do, to have like meaningful conversations?
Usually
And
you
be able
can't
to
have
write
meaningful
letters?
conversations with Speak with Dead, right? You get
Yeah.
really short, brief answers. Sometimes they're cryptic, sometimes they're elusive, sometimes they're very direct. But you don't get prose like "my dearest
Yeah.
wife, lady."
Have I heard of any magic that can do this, like under a Verasi cleric in my time inside the? Is this something that happens? ever?
Yeah,
You
ignoring
are-
magic, like this would be a regular thing if this was the
Yeah.
case. Like every single
Yeah.
noble family would have a dedicated cleric to communicate with grandfathers or dead children or whatever. Is this something that anybody else has ever done? This would be widespread.
This is not something that you guys have heard about, but it's also very sensible that like if someone was a patriarch or like leading the family when they died and you want to take over, you might not want to communicate with them. You might want to just like let them fuck off.
So
But no, this is unfamiliar magic to all of you. You've never heard of anything like this.
I have to
Interesting.
murk this guy.
Well, I think the best thing to do, Anton, is when we return home, find one of Father's hares and speak with him yourself. Ask him.
Yeah, I agree.
Wait, why?
Well, because we can ask him straight up if he's speaking to some cleric.
I don't think we need to. I don't think that this
There's no
sounds
reason not to,
impossible.
right,
Oh,
Tyrell?
yeah, I guess we could.
Yeah.
I think that the most important thing is we need to get our hands on those letters. And we need
Well,
to
we need to go back now, I think.
Sure.
The green dragon
Really?
can wait. We
We're
can
almost
teleport
there.
home.
She seems perfectly fine, Anton.
Well, we're still in Kershwick, right?
Yes.
I thought you said moments
Well, I'm
ago you
asking
said
if
we're
we-
on the ship, right?
I was
And
asking, and you were like, "Well, I'm not sure. Like, it's either
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
ship or we're
All
here."
right, so
We can be on the
did
ship,
you have
we'll turn this-
clairvoyance and project
Yeah, we
self
can-
the day that you arrived in Kershwick, or would you have had to wait for it?
No, I had it on my list. Yeah, while traveling.
Okay, then you were in Kershwick. Yeah.
Okay, we can teleport home, right? Mm-hmm. Emmerich,
Yeah.
and then it'd just be like another day journey. It'd just be like another day or two.
Yeah, this
I
isn't
think
a.
that this is something that we need to figure out.
Yeah, this isn't a discussion. We're absolutely
is an
going back home.
emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, come here then.
I hold your hand. Is
I
your
have
hand
to.
clammy?
I have to reduce one of you first.
Wait, why do we
Who's
have
it
to
gonna be?
use the amulet?
No, we're not using the amulet. I'm going to teleport us, but I have to reduce one of you.
You can reduce me.
Okay.
Sure, reduce it.
I reach into a robe and touch your shoulder, turning you into a tiny little Anton, and then I pick you up and put you in a pocket. Wait. No, it's fine. Yeah, I put you in my pocket. I take Cyril's hand.
Wait, why not like
I-
put him on your shoulder? Why do you have to bury him in a pocket?
Yeah, I don't like being in the pocket. Put
Yeah,
me on
why?
your
What the
shoulder.
fuck? Just put him on your shoulder.
Put me on your shoulder instead. Don't put me in the pocket. I
Put me on your shoulder, Emmerich.
I put you on
I'm
my
a dragon
shoulder.
slayer. Respect me.
I tap you on the head. And then I think of the best place in the house to teleport to, Neil. You know, where it's like a second floor, where there's a big empty room underneath.
Yeah, one of
You
our
know, in the
bedrooms. or
bedroom.
There's a
something.
fucking warehouse underneath
warehouse,
your,
yeah.
underneath
there you
your
go.
bedroom. So
Perfect,
boom. Roll your D100 just for funsies. Probably doesn't matter.
Here's a
We'll
little
do it
question
after
for you,
it's
though. Now, my impression is that you're gonna say this doesn't work, but
No, we
part of
should
what
wait
I think
for
it
this.
Definitely should work.
We should wait for this until we need it.
No, I want to ask now. The Luckstone should add plus or minus 5% to this roll.
Absolutely.
It definitely should.
It has to. It's
But
the
it-
most unlucky thing for a wizard to get teleported on the ground.
Interesting. Let me just look up the
There's
spell
any
and the
situation
luck.
where you have to roll where there's possibly a bad outcome, and that's exactly what this is.
It's the worst outcome, yeah.
Which is actually so cool and would make Luckstones almost like integral for any high-level mage.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot easier than creating all those fucking magic circles all over the place.
Luckstone. IJKL. No, I think it's actually Stone of Luck. Stone of Good Luck. This magical stone is a typical bit of rough polished agate or a similar material. Its possessor gains a +1 or +5% where applicable on all dice rolls involving factors such as saving, slipping, dodging, etc. Whenever dice are rolled to find whether the character suffers from some adverse happening. A luck stone does not affect attack or damage rolls or spell failure dice. Additionally, Luckstone gives a plus or minus 1 to 10% on rolls determining magical items, blah, 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 blah.
Spell failure, is that referring to some weird shit in spells and magic, or is that...
No, I
does
think
that
that's referring to cleric failure if you have low enough wisdom.
right.
But I think that also similarly applies here to teleport, because the spell failure would be an adverse thing happening. So if it's not like a spell chance, it says I'm saving, slipping, dodging whenever dice are rolled to find whether the character suffers from some adverse happening.
Okay,
And
I think it's
that
fine.
means like
Maybe
an external thing happening to you. But
fine.
that's a very clever idea.
Well, I mean, the spell doesn't fail, right? The spell still goes. I would say,
Yeah,
like,
you just might be in the wrong spot.
yeah. Which
Yeah,
is
but
why
you're
I think the
fine.
Luckstone would go in. But sure, it's fine. We'll argue
Yeah.
that more when we need to.
Yeah, we pass it.
We can lawyer later.
Obviously, it's very well known
Yeah,
or familiar or
it's very
whatever,
known.
so we go there.
You only have a 3% chance of failure.
All right, and we're home for the third time today. Mother, I'm here. We're all here.
Emmerich, you need to get those letters.
Wait, yeah, we're in the basement first. We need to have a conversation before we do. We just run up to mom and say,
We're
sorry,
not in the
sorry.
basement. We're in,
No,
we're
you're
in the
in
bedroom.
someone's
We're in our room.
bedroom.
Oh, we're in a bedroom. Okay, gotcha. All right. We're all like, there's not supposed to be music playing, right? Just making sure.
No, I'm turning it on right now.
Oh, okay, just making sure. Okay, gotcha. Okay, we're in our bedroom. We're all chilling. Okay.
How long does
Yeah.
reduce last? They need to know.
It's a little while, dude. I'm sorry to say.
What is
Can you
that?
like,
spell
uh,
magic me?
I haven't got that learnt.
Fine.
Do you?
5 rounds
I
per
wouldn't
level.
have it.
He's level 9. You're like this for an hour and a half.
No, that's fine.
That's okay. I'll set him on a
No,
dresser.
45 minutes.
Maybe
Oh, yeah,
it's
whatever.
best for us not to let mother know that we think that there might be some trickery afoot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Well,
that's a good idea.
She's going to be suspicious that we all turned up here when I told her we weren't going to be here, but...
Well, we got a million things we could be doing in this city at any given point in time. Even if we need a rest from killing 3 brown dragons, well, 2. It's not like she'll know the difference. I think it might be important to read these letters to try to figure out if somebody's trying to influence her to do something or convince her to do something.
You're going to have to go and sneak them, Tyrael, because she didn't seem to want to let me read them. I believe some of the content may be inappropriate.
I mean, I
wanna
chuckle a
sneak
little
Tyrion?
bit. It's kind of what I do, right? Of course.
You can sneak him, Tyrion, and Emmerich and I can go find Stan Lee.
Maybe. I don't think we should communicate with the Stanley person yet. I don't think we should let anybody know that we know that something may or may not be up with this yet. I think first it's good to investigate as much as we can, and then we'll figure
Anton,
out
let me
from there.
Let me go and find some remains of father.
Yeah, I was about
you
to
can
say.
cast speak with dad. You stay here. You'll only upset the servants and mother if they see you like this.
I actually have speak with Dad prepared. Pretty.
Fantastic. Okay, well, Tyrael...
I'll go dig around mom's
Let me-
room. I'll find the letters. We'll meet back here tonight.
Yep. So, Neil, I want to find, like...
Let's meet back here before dinner tonight, so we can attend dinner with that guy.
That's
Oh.
like 3 days from now.
That's 3 days from now?
days.
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. 4 days. Yeah, we can do that anyway though. We're here, so I might as well fuck it. Is there
I think
anything
we're
else?
both going to the mother's room, really, actually, now that I think about it. Because I'm going to look for, like, a hairbrush or something like that was father's.
Is there anything else that we can do here in the capital? If we stay for a week, we get experience for killing the brown dragons. Or I don't know how many
Yeah, we should
days
just
Koibu wants
stay.
us.
Amric can learn a spell or something.
Yeah, I'll do spell research and we can attend that meeting.
My Velthar clerics are probably here as well, so I will I'll handle them.
Yeah, great. So who wants to go first with all these fun happenings?
Amric and Tyrael.
All right, I'll go first then. So I want to head to Mother's room. We'll go up to the door, and I will gingerly, lightly knock on it so as to alert anyone inside, but not alert anyone in the rest of the house.
The door opens. It's Isabel. She screams, drops the sheets in her hand.
Hello, Isabel. I'm here for real this time. Good to see you. Listen, I was looking for one of something of my father's, maybe an old hairbrush or something like that. Is there anything in there?
Of your father's? Yes. Your mother has kept quite a few of his items as keepsakes.
Fantastic. Could you show me?
She leads you into the room, opens a drawer on your mother's vanity, and pulls out a lock of his hair, pulls out like a wax or a tin
Okay.
with mustache
fine.
wax in it.
That's fine. That's fine. I just take one of the hairs from the lock of hair,
Okay.
and I put it back, and I say, "Thank you, Isabella."
Shall I fetch the lady?
No, I shall fetch her myself later. It's fine. I have studies to do, and I will return to my room. It's a tiny Anton.
She cocks her head, shakes it, gives you a curtsy, picks up the sheets, and goes to refold them.
Oh, cast Speak with Dead.
Tiny Anton, I have returned. I found a hair as big as you.
Gimme. I cast Speak with Dead, and I'll ask Father, have you been speaking with Mother? From the dead, Father?
There's a 100% chance of working, right?
I don't
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think
there's
they can
any-
roll a save, but
Right.
I don't think my dad would want to talk.
Yeah.
He loved us at the end, right? So,
He always loved you. You just didn't know how to show it.
with his fists.
I cry out for her. Comes
I'll
the reply.
ask another question. Have you been writing her letters with the aid of Stan Lee, the cleric of Arasi?
I write no more. I speak no more. I know no more stories.
I will throw that to Emmerich. We're getting fucking duped.
I think I can see it, right? It's like an apparition.
Oh yeah, sure.
Um, well, I guess that settles that.
You have one more question, I believe.
Yeah, I got a lot of questions. I think he could get like 3 rounds or something because he hasn't been dead that long.
Yeah, you get 3 questions and used 2.
Do you have any questions, Emmerich, before Father goes back to his grave?
Are you at peace?
I'll ask him that. Are you at peace?
Anton, tell him that we killed the Wraith. That killed him.
I'll explain that if I can as well.
I am filled with regret for the follies I made in my life.
Not the truth.
He didn't play enough league games.
Yeah.
That's the
Like
ultimate
too much
regret.
Dota.
I wave him off.
The apparition fades.
Well, I guess something's going on then. People trying to take advantage of our mother. You'd think people would be more cautious than to fuck with her, given what we've become.
Emmerich, you know I'm gonna have to kill this guy for what he's done, right?
I nod. Yeah, I know. He probably deserves it.
Anton naps himself.
Okay.
Aren't bad to stay awake with
Didn't
this.
you already nap Imric today? Do you have that many naps?
No, I would only had 1. Sorry, I forgot that it was the same day.
Yeah.
I wouldn't nap myself then.
It's okay.
You'll be back to normal in half an hour, Anton. Since we're since we're in town, I suppose I'll do some studying.
My spells are fine. Okay. Cool.
I'll be
Alright.
back this evening, and I'll head out. If I run into Tyrael on the way, I want to ask to grab the hammer off him.
Yeah, if you want to, sure.
Just in case anyone invisible tries to approach me. And I will wander over to the keep.
Okay.
And go to see Oxambar to just do some spell research for the week while we're here, but I think you can switch to Tyrael.
Sure. Tyrael, what would you like to do, sir?
Once they've had their way, I'll kind of hang out in my room for a little bit, listen for noises, make sure that Mother's room is empty, and when I feel that it's empty, I will enter the room.
Yes, she is out of the house presently. You wait for Isabella to be done changing the bedding and everything, and then you can enter the room unseen.
I enter the room and I search for perhaps under the pillow, perhaps there's a lockbox, maybe something underneath the bed. I'm looking for a place where I think my mother would store these types of letters. Maybe there's like a little container that father's stuff was in that she would store them, something like that.
Yeah, you can search the room and find in her vanity on one of the drawers, where the same drawer where the lock of hair is a stack of letters with a that luck stone sitting on top of it. I think you guys gifted her a luck stone at some point, if my memory
Indeed.
serves.
Yeah.
We did.
Yep. She's using it to hold down the letters instead of
Okay.
carrying it on her.
How many letters are there?
There's a stack about 5 or 6.
5 or 6 letters?
6, let's call it.
Yeah, let's 6. Yeah, okay, so exactly. So 6. Have they come at regular intervals? Are these dated at all?
They are almost every week is the dating. It's like off by a day here, 6 days here, 8 days here.
Okay. Is it the same type of pen used for every single letter? Does it look like
It's
unique
the same
ink?
handwriting. It's the same ink.
Okay, nothing especially. So as a rogue who would have read letters and parchment and all that, there's nothing special about like the ink. It doesn't look like it came from a special. It's just a normal quill or whatever.
It's just generic ink written on paper, not on papyrus or not on vellum. So high quality paper to write on.
Gotcha. And then all of the handwriting looks to be the same as well. Yeah.
Yes, it's definitely not your father's handwriting. It looks like a new person's handwriting that you've never met.
Okay. I would like to activate my Ring of Seeing. I'll slip off my Ring of Free Action on one finger, Ring of Seeing on the other, and then I'll activate it. Can I see anything special about any of these 6 letters? Is there a magical aura at all, or anything that would be unseen?
No, it's
Nothing.
all ordinary content.
Okay. When I look around the room, do I see anything that
Do you
gives
also read the content, or are you just like looking for magical signatures and stuff?
Right now, I'm just investigating. I'll read
Okay.
them after, but yeah.
Sure.
Do I see anything around the room that might be emitting like a magical aura or anything off or that would be unseen or invisible?
Let's see, there's a luck stone. You can see that one of the hardwood floor panelings on the bottom, on the floor here, is removable. That's
Okay.
clearly like a hidden compartment. Anything else that might be hidden? She probably has another hidden compartment somewhere in the room. Probably in her vanity. You can find a false bottom on one of the pull-out drawers.
Okay. Gotcha. Real quick, before reading letters, that hidden compartment on the floor, can I open that? Is there anything in there?
You can. It opens up. It is clearly dusty. It looks like this one hasn't been opened probably in like 5 or 10 years. It's definitely not something that your mother has been aware of. And inside you find a bag of 20 gold.
Cool. 20 gold.
XP, baby.
I'm stealing that from somebody. I'll actually, I'll leave it down here. Can I, okay, I guess after doing all that, then could I read the contents of the letters? 6 letters. What are they?
The first one starts off with like, "My dearest wife, I speak to you from beyond the dead. I know what I say might sound difficult to believe, but let me tell you things that only you and I would know that can confer onto you the truth of my lettering and my writing to you." And then he proceeds to like describe the night that they first met, in a lot of detail that would you'd have to be have been there in person, or like have heard the story 100 times to have heard to know.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And then it goes on to say like some sweet things. I miss you. I love you. The afterlife is nice. It's wonderful. I feel the warmth of blah, blah, blah. And you only, of course, have his side. And then, the letters seem to be just sort of like really casual writing back and forth, like, how's your week been? This is what the children are up to. Oh, we bought this new house. And he's speaking from the afterlife, like, oh, I ran into my brother, blah, blah, blah. I ran into your father. It's weird out here. It kind of describes a little bit what the afterlife is. It seems like he's always in a constantly changing place, that he's never really able to pin down where he is, and he keeps bumping into random people, and it's hard to find or direct yourself, but he keeps like running into people he's met in the past or people he's known before, including he talks about some people that were under his service when he was in Bontheris in the war, people he let down who have died because of his actions or inactions. And he, like, now that they're dead, they're able to speak their grievances plainly, and his heart is heavy with all of the wrongs that he's committed and the, oversight he's made. And he realizes the greater impact of his reach and begs with her to be more careful with her use of power, because you end up having to see the dead once you're done with your life, and those people you've wronged will have a chance to come and tell you to your face. And he has wronged more people than he imagined.
Okay. So I'm going to summarize some things you say just so for big takeaways. So one is an extremely accurate recollection of when they first met. Is the recollection like mainly actions, or does it include feelings as well? Is there a lot of like first person narrative here, or is it mainly just like reflecting on the actions?
There's a lot of first person. When I first saw you across the room, my heart pittered and pattered and blah, blah, blah. And then you took my hand, and then we snogged in the rose bushes, and I
can you
felt like...
explain the first actual time that they met? I think it's important because we've had one account of how they've met before, and I'm curious if this... Okay.
Yep, they met in a tavern. Your mother was trying to sneak out. She thought she was being clever. Of course, the guards knew and tailed her from a distance to keep her reasonably safe because she was the heir and the princess, right? But they let her do her shit. He was some, poor young noble boy being led around by his older brother, your uncle, the douchebag. Not douchebag, but, the
cool,
guy who's got the family in a lot of trouble.
The cool uncle, okay?
Cool, yeah, the fun.
Douchebag is a perspective, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, gotcha. So the recounting seems to be authentic. He describes people that he's wronged in the past. Are all of them related to the war, or are there more personal recollections as well? My meta asking of this, or the meta in game, what I'm trying to figure out is like, is everything that he's saying like, oh, I wronged this person, are these like official military people that are dead that somebody could read off of like an obituary somewhere, or does he include some personal like, when I was 17, I stole, like a kiss from my best friend's girl, or some, like more personal stuff like that. I'm just curious what the types of wrongs he's talking.
Most of them are, in fact, all of them that are specifically declared are from the most recent war. He talks about deployment of soldiers and mistakes that he made in doing so, and people that he got killed through his actions. But then he alludes to and others from my past, but he never directly calls out who the people in his past are.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, I understand. Can I take? There should be something in here to write with, yeah?
Yeah, there's a writing kit right there.
Okay. Can I take out a piece of paper and, so being a rogue, I would hope that with my uncle, I've at least attempted forgeries and stuff in the past. I should have a pretty careful writing hand. Could I do my best to copy maybe an assortment of words that uses an assortment of letters from this letter, just so that I have like a reference for the handwriting? So like, I don't want to just
duplicate the handwriting, so you have a copy of it.
Yeah, basically, so that I could use it as comparison. So maybe a few common words, and then maybe a few uncommon words to collect more letters or something like that. And then
Yeah, let me. There is a specific ruling for how to forge things here.
Okay.
Let's see. To forge a document, to forge a name, an autograph is needed.
What are Tyriel's thoughts as he looks this up? What's he thinking?
Woo yeah. So right now, I try to keep an open mind. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out, is all of this information publicly accessible, such that anybody who is vaguely familiar with our mom and dad and how they met, and then anybody with access to like war records could have fabricated this. Like, oh, well, when McGarry was on the front lines, you know, like 4 or 5 people died that were under his command. I'm sure he'd feel guilty about it. So we can throw this out on the letter. If he references more personal or private stuff, then it implies that if this is a forgery, which right now I believe it to be, it's going to be somebody with a much closer relationship to us. If it doesn't include any personal stuff, but it just has the military stuff, but it does include like one personal story, then it means that whoever's involved in the forgery either knows this story intimately, so is a very close friend of our mother, or is somebody that has access to Time Pool as a magical spell. The reason why I'm asking if there's a lot of first-person narrative, like a description of feelings, is because somebody that Time Pools might be able to say like, oh yeah, I remember when we met outside and blah, 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 but they're not gonna have access to father's feelings. Like, oh, like when I first met you, I was so scared because you were like a noble of high descent and I didn't know what that meant, right? Because somebody time pooling would be able to observe outwardly somebody, but they wouldn't know those intimate personal feelings that maybe only somebody that, so yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
So it could be like Scoria, could theoretically be like the queen, or it could just be someone who looked up like military records and is trying to scam mom.
Possibly, yeah. So right now I'm getting a copy of the handwriting. What I'd really, assuming I have the time and the parchment is similar enough, what would be nice is if I could do a forgery of like the first or second letter, and then I'll replace her letter with my forgery, so that and the 6 letters she has, one of them is my forgery, and I'll hold on to one of the originals, and then I could use that as a comparison for handwriting. Actually, I can just do that instead of copying everything. But you can tell me how the forgery rules work. Yeah.
Yeah. So to forge a document where you need a person's specific name, you would make a forgery check at -2. For a longer document written in the hand of a particular person, a large sample is needed and a check at -3. You're copying a literal letter word for word. So I think a check at -2 for you, since these aren't particularly long letters, you could like pick the shortest letter to make it the easiest for you. It would be check at -2 if you succeed. If this check succeeds, the work will pass examination by all except those intimately familiar with the handwriting or by those with a forgery proficiency who examine the document carefully. If a check is failed, the forgery is detectable to anyone familiar with the type of document or handwriting if he examines the document closely. So a failure doesn't mean it's automatically detectable. If someone examines it closely, it would be. Or if they're like...
Okay. What kind of, what do I make this check at? Is this like just dex or what
Since you are not proficient in it, it's going to be a forgery... It's going to be half your dexterity, -1, and then -2 for the check on top of that. So whatever your dex is divided by 2, -3.
Round up or?
Round down.
For dex, round down? Wow.
Yeah, +5.
Wait, +5?
Yeah, 17 divided by 2 is 8.5.
Yeah, 8. So I'm
Minus
rolling,
3.
it's 1d20 plus
5.
+5. +8 -3 or something? It's +5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What am I trying to roll?
21 or higher. You need a 16 to pass, but a failure isn't necessarily automatic. You know, everyone notices. It's just...
I'm sitting down. I'm really focused on this. I'm going to spit out a 17 here. 17 plus 22
Right.
incoming. Right here, baby.
Technically, I roll this in
Okay.
secret because you
shit.
always think
I
you're
fucked you hard.
successful,
I'm
but
sorry.
it's fine. You fucking killed it. It's successful.
Bigly rolls.
Okay, so I'm going to
saw
replace
a
one letter.
Four Seasons RV campground on our camping trip. It was amazing.
Nice. All right, I'll hold on to this. I want to take the letter that references the most grievances.
Yeah. That would be the second letter.
Okay, sure.
The first one sort of talks a little bit about what the afterlife is like. The second one seems to describe it, specific things in detail, like as a response to questions that must have been asked in her letters. You can kind of read between the lines and like figure out things that your mother would have said by his responses. And one of them is like, what do you feel that weighs so heavily on your heart? His answer is like, the dead that I failed in battle at Bontheris.
Understood. Okay. So I have that letter. I'll kind of speak out loud my thoughts. So my goal is to speak with Father later with you guys, and then we can ask him how he feels about any of these particular people to see. And maybe there's somebody that died underneath them. Maybe Father doesn't feel regret. Maybe Father says like, oh, that guy, he was a fucking buffoon. We all told him that he was being too reckless in combat, and he went and he died anyway, right? Maybe. So looking for an inconsistency there. Number one. Number two, for my bag of holding, or actually for my pocket, I'd like to produce that writ from the Queen that said that we were able to travel unmolested or unbothered by any guards. Does the handwriting from that match the handwriting on this letter by chance?
No.
No?
No way.
Can I search through this room? Does my mother have any personal letters from the Queen at all?
Yes, there are some letters from her sister.
Are these
They are... Go ahead.
personal letters, or are these letters after she became the Queen?
There are about 2 letters a year, every year for the past like 30 years or whatever. So you got to stack maybe 60 letters covering a long span of time.
Okay, can I look at like one of the early ones and then one of the later ones and then see if either of those handwritings match this letter?
Neither of them do.
Neither of them do. Okay. Are they the same?
But they do match the writ from
They
that
do match
allows
the
you to
writ.
everything.
Interesting. Okay. I would have expected that the
Yeah.
Queen would have somebody transcribing for her, that she wouldn't be writing these herself.
Yeah, same.
But okay, that's why I wanted the personal letters too. But okay. Okay, so we've got this handwritten thing. Doesn't match anything. I don't think there's anything else I can get from here. What are the later letters that Father writes talk of? He doesn't make any kind of requests or implore her to do any particular thing or push her towards anything, or...
He's mostly just asking about what's happening, how goes the war, you know, what happened with the children. Are you happy? Are you seeing anyone? It's mostly, he speaks that he can't see what's going on in the world, and a lot of the dead wonder what is happening in the world. And the only way to know is by talking to people who have just recently died and getting their opinions. But he wants to know, did we win? Was it all for naught? Was my time spent well? I may have failed these people, but did I do good in the end?
Is he particularly
And Mom-
prying about children? About what we're doing?
He does ask about what you're doing.
Like, is
Yes.
it pretty, like, vague, or is it, like, pretty, like, you can tell he wants to know more? quite a bit?
Heavy-handed.
No, it's kind of similar to like what's going on with the war. You know, what our children. When I died, I had just learned that they were capable of slaying dragons. How goes their quest, their adventure? You know, it's sort of open-ended, inquisitive, but
Gotcha.
you know, 3 sentences on that, 3 sentences on the war, 10 sentences on whether she's seeing anyone. You know.
Okay. All right, I'm done here for now then, I believe. What is next? Do we have anything scheduled next?
Anton comes out of his form, and I guess he's gonna try to find Tyrael. He wants to
It is
hunt
so.
down Stanley.
Before we do that, I would like to schedule a meeting, a quick chat with like Arc Somber.
Oh, well, that's where I am.
Yeah, can I go find Imric there? Or we can go together, I don't
Sure.
care.
Was
you
Anton?
can
Yeah,
find
Anton's
Emmerich.
gonna come. Anton will come, if
Sure.
allowed.
Yeah.
If Anton
So
comes,
Imric's
I
going
would
to-
tell Anton, this is a quick chat. Don't provoke.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, it'll be good.
Okay.
Imric, you will have been with Arc Somber for an hour, maybe, by the time these guys show up.
I've not been told not to say this. I think it's fine. I'm probably talking to her about the thing with Stanley. Like what's going on with our mother and how it's weird. And I say that we're in town for a week while we investigate it, but I thought I'd spend the time learning a spell and
Wait, what? Arc Somber says letters from beyond the grave?
I think some cleric is scamming my mother.
I think so too, although I hate to say it to your face, it sounds like an impossibility.
I agree. A widow saddened with grief probably makes an easy target for such scam artists, but I think this man has chosen poorly given my brother's inclination to those who have wronged him.
You would think one person who would know enough to scam your mother would understand who her children are.
Indeed. Makes you think that maybe that's what he's looking for. Maybe it's a trap or something. Surely he would know that Anton would come after him.
Arc Somber stays quiet for a little while.
You ever heard of this cleric of Veracity named Stanley in town?
She waves her hand. There are many clerics.
Well, the spell I was looking to learn was sending. Do you have access to that? May allow me to keep in touch more. Imagine this is a spell that every court wizard has.
I
Or every
imagine
high-level
as
court wizard.
well. I'm just trying to find that list that I had pulled up the other day. I don't think I have it though. Okay. Sending is a 5th level spell. Arc Somber does indeed have it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start learning this. I mean, I guess I'm gonna get interrupted, but do you want me to make the roll now?
No. We'll make the roll later because you chat with Arc Somber for a while. You flip through spell books. You're like, do you have sending? You and her look through a few books together until she finds it, and then she's like, do you have your read magic spells ready?
I don't actually.
Yeah, so you'll have to start the studying tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Probably best.
As I'm about to leave, I guess I see Tyrell and Anton walking down the corridor and say, "Oh, what are you guys doing here?"
Just a quick chat with Arc Somber to make sure she's not up to one of her little devious plots again.
I close the door's just closed behind me. I go to meet them in the corridor and say, "The last time I was here, I smoothed things over with Arc Somber. Let's just try and keep things friendly, yeah?" I'm
Yeah, we'll
she'll
be
help
fine.
us.
Anton should behave.
I'm in a good mood. Emmerich.
I go back to the door and knock on it again.
She opens it. Did you forget something?
I didn't,
Oh,
but my brothers are
McGarry
here.
brothers.
They wanted to
Yes.
speak with you. I'm not sure about what. Probably about what we were just discussing.
She opens the door all the way and waves you in. Her apprentice scurries back upstairs to get out of your way.
Yeah. That's the same one who was spying on us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll give him a stare.
I guess I'll stand in the room and look at Tyrael expectantly.
Yeah, Somber. Is Somber her last name? Is that how that works?
She was not noble born. That is her first name. She has no last name.
Interesting.
Bash.
Imagine being a filthy
well-
peasant.
I'm sure my loose-lipped brother here has already let you know. It seems as though somebody is writing letters to our mother, pretending to be our father from beyond the grave. Now, obviously, as I'm sure you've probably already guessed, we're going to be investigating this to figure out what exactly is going on. I just thought I would
This
come
is a
by.
battle of national security.
Potentially, yes. I thought I'd come by as a courtesy to you to see if this was your doing or if you were involved with it, so that we wouldn't have to be so heavy-handed if we found out who was. Do you have any idea, like, who could be contacting our mother like this?
No. But it sounds like you have a name and that the hand deliveries are made. It would be an easy thing to have them followed, figure out where they go, if they perform any rituals or magic, or if they just simply write letters on their own. I would caution patience. Clearly, nothing untoward has happened as of yet. And quick action on this might only alert enemies to our presence. I think a nice, slow, long investigation to understand their motives, it would be the most profitable venture.
Absolutely.
I think that's wise, Cyril. We were talking that this man, if he knows enough about our family to carry this out, he must surely know who Anton is. He must know that this is going to result in Anton knocking on his door. Maybe it's a trap. Maybe it's bait.
Could potentially be. I do agree it's good to keep this under wraps as much as possible, which means probably discussing this with as few people as possible. I glare at Emmerich as I say this.
Yes, certainly with trusted allies.
Of course. Well, we appreciate your input, Arc Somber. I guess, is there anything you would have of us? We've been traveling around quite a bit. I don't know if there's any ingredients you need or other types of materials you might need being stuck in this tower all day. Might not have access to them.
No. Thank you, though. I know I can always count on the McGarry brothers to make sure everything works out nicely.
Are we
Well, we
not?
won't bother you anymore, Arksamba. Thanks for your hospitality. and
Oh,
I'll
don't
come
worry,
back
Imric,
tomorrow.
you've never been a bother.
I'll see you tomorrow to study Stendic.
Okay.
You guys are dismissed. Yeah.
Alright.
we
Wait,
leave.
we leave.
We leave. We're not dismissed.
What do you mean we're dismissed? We
We are
leave.
both-
You
You
stay
are,
as long as we. Yeah.
We leave.
You are shown the door as you decide to depart.
Okay.
Willingly. Yeah.
Simultaneously, maybe, but okay.
Yeah.
Can we roll for initiative on leaving versus dismissal?
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Go on. Roll it.
Okay, no.
D10.
All right.
Roll it. Roll it. Neil, you got to roll the other one. Go on, Cyril.
Lower is better?
Ooh, yeah.
Lower is better.
Oh, damn. We are dismissed.
We're
Oh
dismissed.
no.
Okay, we're dismissed. Okay, so as we leave, I'll share everything I found with the letters. I mean, they appear to be quite authentic on the outside. I think whoever went through the effort of this forgery, if you call it that, or this impersonation, took quite a bit of effort to do so. Wait, real quick. Okay, this is getting really meta because I'm not 100% sure if you are messing up or if it's supposed to be. This is all part of the part of the plan. So when Mother was talking to Imric, she explicitly said like, "No, you probably don't want to like, see those things, right?" Because if Father's talking about her like slobbing on his knob or something, right? Maybe we don't want to see that. When I read through the letters, was there anything explicit like that I would feel like would be embarrassing for us to read, or?
I mean, I wanted to skip over the I missed the curve of your breast in my hand. I
Okay.
didn't quite want to go into that detail. There are some more, explicit by American standards.
Sure. I'm only
writings
asking
here.
to make sure that Mother wasn't concocting a lie so that we wouldn't be reading these.
No,
'cause
no,
there's
no.
something else.
Nothing
That's all
that would
I
make
want.
a
Okay.
Frenchman blush, but something that you might not want your children to read.
Gotcha. I understand. Okay. All right. So yeah, then I'll tell my brothers. Perhaps it's best
You
to
know-
speak with Dead, and we can ask Father about these particular grievances that this letter brought up, and I'll produce a letter from my cloak. Maybe it's possible that he doesn't feel that way about these. I don't know exactly what we're even testing for, but it'd be good to talk
I have
to
2
him.
more speak with dead, so I have 6
We should confirm, but I'm almost certain that this is a scam. I've seen wannabe pretend psychics down in the peasant areas, tricking grieving widows, saying that they are speaking to their dead husbands or whatever who died on the front line. It's a common scam. It happens all over the city. It's
Yeah.
the first I've heard done in this form and to someone of our stature, but
Yeah, the problem
Here-
is that we're trusting Mother to handle our entire estate. So for her to fall prey to a scam like this makes me
agree.
question
Not good.
her capabilities, unfortunately.
agree.
So
Give me your questions for the speak with dead. I have 6 that I can ask because I have 2 castings.
I'll point to 3 or
Yeah.
4 of the names, and I'll just ask Father what his general feelings are about these people. If he expresses regret over failing to serve them, or over, just that. And then is there anything else you can think of, Emmerich or Anton, that we should ask?
no, I think that's it.
I asked
I'm
those
almost certain.
3 names.
Yes.
Just see if the details match.
So you speak with Dead, with your father about the three names that were listed in the letters.
Yeah, and I'm going to try to see if the details match up.
Your father seems to. You. What would you ask? Give me an example.
Go ahead, Tyrell.
Father, so for 2 of them, I guess would be like, how do you feel about the demise of this person? Was there more you could have done, or was this due to their own recklessness? Do you regret it?
I do not know this person, is the reply.
Doesn't know the
Okay.
person at all. To like so 3 or 4 examples, he doesn't know any of those people?
Yeah, the 3 examples that you list, you say, what about Ted? And your father's like, I don't know who Ted is. And you ask, like, what about Jeremiah? And your father's like, I don't know who Jeremiah is. And you ask, like, what about Beatrix? And your father's like, I did not serve with Beatrix. She was a child. And he'll mention that she's not someone that he served with. It's just, probably some other person he knows named Beatrix.
Understood. Okay, I don't know how we timeline this, but the next thing I want to do is I want to go to the castle and request a record of these names to see if they're military people. I want to know, are these people that were just randomly killed, or are these like completely fabricated names, or what? But I don't know if I need to go to the castle or if mom has like a record or what.
You're gonna need to find like not just you wouldn't need to go to the capital. You need to know what town they came from and then go search those particular town records.
There's got to be like a list of
infrastructure.
like the military people, like soldiers and
They're
stuff.
not gonna
Is
have
that-
a list of every single soldier that served in the capital. That stuff will be localized to the regions where people are from. Because
Okay.
we don't serve, it's not a federal army. It's like each town and region has an army that is controlled by a leader from that town. And then like a supreme commander just grabs like various leaders. So each person is responsible for paying and supporting and
Okay, I
dealing
gotcha.
with each sub-thing.
Are the names
Yeah.
recognizable? Like, are these like names of noble families or anything? Or
No, I mean, all these are just like first names. They all sound like infantry soldiers, non-nobles that were
Are we able to
serving
just
under
go
him.
find this guy, Tyrael, and then ask him?
problem is
What's
that
going on?
depending on who he is, if we go to him, we've alerted them that we know everything that's going on. So right now, nobody has any idea that we have any information that this is fraudulent or fake. So it could be the case that, say we discover that this is a trap that Scoria or somebody's trying to lay, we could let our mom walk into this trap, but we could be ready to ambush whoever's there waiting for them, and then we could interrogate that person. Do you understand?
Yeah, I guess.
If we go to him now, then the letters stop. Whatever they're after, we're never going to know. It's possible that this person is under a spell or is a tool himself of somebody else, and he doesn't even know why he writes these letters. Or maybe he's not even the one writing these letters. He could be a simple delivery boy that doesn't know where they're coming from.
Okay.
We might not have much choice though than to ambush him in the house. Wait for him to meet our mother and speak to him then. We can, if we're so concerned about word getting out, we could always have him arrested, or I don't see any other way forward, Tyrell.
I just don't know if this is our best course of time. I thought this was going to be a quicker thing where we kind of figure out what's going on, we get the guy, and then we ask him some questions and then figure out what goes from there. I just don't think that we have the time to sit in here and...
Well, why
I
not
mean, we
do
have
as
a
our
week. We do have a week,
suggested?
so...
Why not have Tyrell have some of your men?
Yeah,
Keep
that's
an
what
eye
I was
on
thinking.
When
Yeah,
she,
we
when
can
she
do that.
meets this person, and next time we're back in town, we can gather the information. If I'm right, then I suspect this is more to do with us than it is to do with Mother, and whatever they're trying to achieve, it's gonna happen when we're here. So I don't think that we lose anything by leaving for a while and dealing with the dragon and gnome and coming back.
Yeah, I believe
cool
that
with
to be
that.
the case. I think, Koibu, you said we were 1 or 2 days off getting another letter based on the intervals they were arriving. Did you say that, or did I make that up in my head?
I said the intervals come every 1 to 2 days, so the dates on them are signed somewhere. Like if you compare it to a calendar, on like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday is when they're assigned. You don't know when they get delivered. Is the thing.
Okay. Did Mother say they were hand delivered by that cleric, or?
Yes, hand delivered by the cleric.
Okay. I guess if it would be nice if I could like receive the next one and see how the guy responds or whatever. I won't make a big deal about
you
it,
just
but
have to ask someone when the letters get delivered. Any of the servants one of the servants would definitely know. Because servants typically answer the door. Your mom would definitely know when they come. Maybe other servants would.
okay. Yeah, I'll ask for that. But otherwise, I'll also talk to Vega and Hans, and I'll ask those two if maybe they could keep an eye on the Stanley person, trail him, follow him around, see what he does, what is he up to normally. And then yeah, I think that's all I can think of for now. And then we leave in a week to go to the Green Dragon.
Yeah, we might as well stay for this meeting now that we're here
Which meeting?
with Richard.
Oh, the party. or
Yeah,
whatever?
let's stay and get XP, and you can do your thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll check on my clerics, Koibu. They chilling? They good?
So they are gathered. That they've been trained, they've been coming over this way, and they are to be sent out to all these other towns, right?
Except one cleric, the one I gave the +1 ring of protection, she's to be stationed at our house as well.
At the house, right? Okay. So you've got the cleric at the house for Sherzies. Other than that, I think the clerics probably wouldn't have stayed here very long. They might have traveled en masse here to then be dispersed.
Yeah.
So I think they're dispersed. There should be one in town, in the capital, and one for your house, and then all the rest of them are making their way to the various towns.
I might check in with the captain of the guard dude.
Mm-hmm.
What was his name?
There's Bradico, and then there's another one.
There is Winthrop. Vandal is the older one, and
Okay.
Bartico
Okay.
is the younger one.
I go and find Winthrop. Does he have a room, an office, or is he just around?
He is currently helping train soldiers down in the big warehouse area.
I'll come and watch for 5 minutes, and then when they take a break, I'll walk over to Winthrop. Greetings, Winthrop. You getting settled in okay?
I am, Lord, but these green men are quite green indeed. I don't know what sort of conditions people on the Red Coast live, but many of these people have never held a spear in their life.
Well, that's why you're here, Winthrop. I'm sure that your experience in these matters will harden them up sooner rather than later.
Certainly.
So,
You have need of me?
not particular. I just wanted to make sure you were settling in whilst I was in town. There is one thing, though. There's been a man coming and going, speaking with our mother. Calls himself a cleric. While he's in the house, can you just keep an eye on this guy? I don't know if you've seen him. His name's Stanley.
Yes, the cleric Stanley. I have heard of his presence near the house. I don't know what his business here is, but if you think he's suspect, then you can rest assured that I shall keep an eye on his comings and goings.
Thank you, Winthrop. That's all. Just keep an eye on him. Thank you.
Any particular danger I should be aware of?
Nothing particular. He's just strange, that's all. He's up to something, but I'm not sure what.
I have seen many a strange people in my time. I know what to keep my eyes peeled for. I'll keep you abreast of any changes.
Thank you. I head back. And yeah, I guess we just wait. I go back to Oxon by the next day to start learning the spell.
Okay.
Maybe we
rest of the party?
skip a week?
Yeah.
Well, we're not skipping because we have to do the dinner.
Yeah,
The
until
dinner?
the dinner, I mean.
And since we're doing stuff for a week, I would like to do another week of training in 2-weapon fighting style, I guess.
Yeah. You'll also be figuring out from the servants when letters arrive.
Yeah, I guess.
And it is on Wednesdays that they arrive. And you have gotten here on a Tuesday. So tomorrow, in theory, usually on Wednesdays, there shall be a letter arriving. So why don't we deal with letters, dinner parties, spell learning, and all of that on the other side of our break.
We'll be back.
Cool.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tombs of Scoria. Sending time? No, we're going to make your spell check at the very end of the time, Nick.
Well, do you want me to roll how long it takes?
Yes, please.
Perfect.
Great. So the next day, you're gonna get a Mr. Stanley coming by the house, and you know that he's usually comes on Wednesdays. So you can have someone, maybe all three of you, hanging out upstairs, keeping an eye out a window, just to see this gentleman's arrival. Is that what you want to be doing all day? What's your plan of attack?
Do you think I should cast invisibility and go and watch?
No reason not to. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. No reason not to. Okay, so once I see the guy coming down the path, I'll cast invisibility and walk downstairs.
Cast it on me. You gotta go do your spell research. Let me watch.
Well, I can spare an hour or two to be here. You make more noise than me, Anton.
You're definitely going to be wasting your whole day of spell research because you don't know if he's going to show up in the morning, if in the afternoon, the evening, right? So you'd be like dedicating your day to.
Cast it on me.
Alright.
I got the spells to check if he's
fine.
evil and shit. So.
I pluck one of Anton's eyelashes, take a piece of gum arabic, and yeah, cast the spell on him.
Whoosh, invisible.
And I say,
I'm
well,
doing my spell list right now.
don't do anything too hasty while I'm not here.
I won't,
And
Emmerich.
I'll,
You know me, I'm the
okay.
level-headed one.
Of course you are, yeah. And I will walk out and give a look at Tyrael as I walk out, as if to say, don't let Anton do anything fucking crazy.
I give a knowing nod, of course.
Yes, and head to the tower to go and research spells.
Excellent. The other two of you are hanging out and waiting and watching, and sure enough,
Anton will be
Stanley
downstairs invisible for when the meeting happens.
Okay. Downstairs and invisible.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I want to hear what they say.
Yeah, so there's a knock at the door. One of the servants comes on over, opens the door, sees it's the cleric. The cleric says, I've come with another letter for the lady of the house. She gets brought into an antechamber here. Some food and drink is provided. Your mother is gone to be fetched. She's away for she's out of the house for a little bit. She'll be back shortly. So the cleric is made
Maybe
comfortable.
like in the far corner. And can I Now, I've casted spells while invisible. Thought capture shouldn't break invisibility, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna cast thought capture on him.
Okay.
And
you
detect
cast-
evil.
Then you cast thought capture in an area.
It's AoE 10 yards, so yeah, sure.
The thought capture is just going to pull the strongest
Historical
thought
emotion.
in this region. Yeah, so you actually don't get a thought of this person. You end up getting the thought of apparently in this house many years ago there was a robbery gone wrong, or in this warehouse a robbery gone wrong, and a fire happened, burned the house down. It's probably why there's a warehouse on the spot right now. But your thoughts are of the people burning and dying in the fire.
Cool. Detect evil goes off. I assume nothing because it's not level 9.
Yes, non-aligned. Actually, it's not true. This character is evil.
Well.
Which character? The cleric
The cleric.
of what's the name?
Verasi or me? Okay.
Wait,
Cleric
is
of Verasi
Verasi
is
the?
emanating evil.
Verasi's
That's the
death.
Yeah. Now, in your
So you would
world, just to be clear, death isn't necessarily evil, right?
It's more like
Verasi
Grim
is,
Reaper
though. No,
situation.
but Verasi is evil, though, right? Yeah.
Yes and no. Like, she serves many purposes and has many forms. So for many people, she is more like a Grim Reaper figure, taking you from one world to another. And sometimes, though, people will follow her and become death cultists and lead armies of destruction in her name that are horribly evil. So not intrinsically, but sometimes.
How do I feel like mind read would go? Because they have to do a saving throw. Any wary subject receives a saving throw at -2 penalty.
I think if you are in inducing saving throws, it would break invisibility.
Okay. I already know it's alignment, I assume. Yeah, I think I cast it. Well, I detected evil. I'll do no alignment.
Yeah.
No alignment.
Yeah.
Enables to read the aura. Caster must remain stationary. Concentrate on the subject for a full round. No alignment would also requires a saving throw, I think.
Is it?
Yeah. The saving throw is to negate. So yeah.
Okay, I won't use that then, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
I'll wait.
Okay.
But I'm very probably not letting this guy out of the house.
Sure. The figure has been offered refreshments, and they just sort of sit in a chair and wait. They don't go to any of the refreshments. They just calmly, quietly sit there, hands folded in their lap, until your mother gets home, maybe 20, 30 minutes later. She immediately comes into the room, handing the shopping off to some of the servants. With the knight that follows her around, acting as her escort, falls in line behind her as they come into the room. She and Stanley have a brief, oh, hello, how are you? Stanley gives a stiff, formal bow and hands out to her a letter in a gloved hand. It looks like all the others. It's got a little bit of wax at the end of it. It's not sealed or pressed with any symbol. It's just waxed shut. And your mother opens it. Quickly thumbs through it real fast and says, well, if you're still here tomorrow, I'll have a reply by then. Please do come by tomorrow at your earliest convenience, and I will have a letter here waiting for you with one of the servants. And then she puts out a gold coin to Stanley, who says, "No, please. I serve the crown." And she says, "No, you have to take it. Please don't make me go through this every week. Take the money." He takes the money and leaves.
Hey,
She
question.
takes the letter and heads
Before he
upstairs.
leaves, Tyrael, I know where he is, right? He's somewhere nearby.
I would be.
Cyril's in the house.
Oh yeah, I think I was upstairs watching, but I wouldn't be able to go downstairs because you said the three of us saw him approach, but I can't go downstairs because I'm not invisible or anything.
Would you agree that he's within 30 yards of me?
Physically, yeah, definitely.
I should be able to telepathy to Tyrael, correct?
Thinks so.
I linked it in
the-
chat if you wanted to.
Oh, thank you. Two-way mental contact, priest and single subject. Telepathy. Yeah, I don't think you need to see them. I think it's fine. Yep, you're fine.
I telepathy to Tyrael before he leaves. This probably happens as soon as I see that he's evil. I will explain to Tyrael that he's evil. Tell him that I desperately want to keep him here. This means that he's of extreme power, and we probably should deal with him now. I will implore him that it means that he's at least 9th level. Tyrael can communicate back,
Am I able to communicate back?
right? Two-way?
Yeah, two-way. There's not like a character limit on this, is there?
It's 4 times
Oh.
faster than verbal communication. The level of
Yeah, so you
complexity
can
that
just
be-
communicate back and forth
Yeah.
as. Yeah. There's no character limit.
Yeah, I guess I'm shaking my head, although you can't see it, but I would say we'll let him go for now. We'll deal with him later.
Okay. Anton begrudgingly will let him go. I ask him, should I follow him?
No, I shake my head. Or he can't hear me. I'll shake my head and then he doesn't respond and say, no, we'll just leave him for now.
Okay. And he's gone. Walks out the door.
It's our understanding that there's no other way to admit an alignment unless you're 9th level or higher, right?
No, that's only for player characters. For humans, monsters can emit auras. Various types of monsters can emit evil stuff as well.
As he's
But if
leaving,
you're a human,
as he's leaving the house, can I activate my ring of seeing as he leaves? What does he look like? Do I see magical items? Does he turn into a big monster? Is he what?
But to end this whole man's career.
when you use your ring of seeing to spy on this character walking out through the what do you call it, through the door, where is it? You see them as they truly are. You see not a person, not a cleric walking out, but you see a rotting corpse dressed in the clothes of a person. You can see through the gloves almost to like the rotting fingers underneath, the gloves like hiding the features of that. You can see the face is heavily caked in makeup to disguise the disfigurement of decay. Yeah. This person is not a person. This person is some sort of intelligent zombie, or some sort of controlled undead minion. They're definitely a corpse.
Interesting. Okay.
Sus.
And they emit an evil aura, is what I can see. What is exactly lawful evil, or what? The ring will tell me that.
The Ring of Seeing tells you auras.
Yes.
well, then it's just chaotic evil, which is classic for all undead. There are very few undead, I believe, who are anything other than chaotic evil.
Okay. So it could be the case then that this is a level 2 monster. They don't have to be level 9 to be emitting an aura now that I see that it's a monster, right?
Yeah.
Right. Like a zombie would emit evil, I'm pretty certain.
Understood. Okay.
Although I guess, no, never mind.
I think it's been a day. With my ring of seeing, if I look around, do I see Vega or Hans anywhere out there?
Give me a perception check that I will compare to their stealth checks if they're out there. No, you don't see them anywhere.
Okay.
They're either doing a really good job or a really shit job.
True. Okay. I don't see, and that ring of seeing would show me a lot. I don't see anything else emanating from the zombie. Is he wearing any magical gear or anything?
Nope, no magical gear.
Okay. Okay. Okay, gotcha.
There is an, you would see magical auras on something though, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. I can put the spell in chat again if you need it.
Yes, that would be great.
Confers upon the recipient the ability to see all things as they are. The spell penetrates normal and magical darkness. Secret doors become plain. The exact location to displace things is obvious. Invisible things become quite visible. Illusions and apparitions are seen through. Polymorphs, changed, or enchanted things are apparent. Even the aura projected by creatures become visible so that alignment can be discerned. Further, the recipient can focus his vision to see in the ethereal plane. However, this does not penetrate solid objects. It doesn't give you X-ray vision or its equivalent.
Yes, you would not see.
What would I not see?
It's normal and magical darkness. Okay.
What would I not see?
You
were
see
saying?
everything you see. Nothing. It's fine. You see everything as it truly is.
Okay. So it sounded like there was something I didn't see there.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see lots of things.
Yeah, I'm just curious what kind of things I don't see, you know? Sometimes those are more interesting things you do see, you know?
Yeah, that's a true statement.
Definitely.
Well, are we done?
Yeah.
Wonderful weather we're having here today, Alexander. What a nice day. I'm sure. You know, it's calm, nothing strange going on. Everything's perfectly normal.
Gentle summer days like this must be appreciated.
Yeah, we're traveling so much, always in fights or wandering through a desert or whatever. It's nice to just be able to enjoy the sun and do some light reading, you know?
Such a life filled with adventure and action must give one an unusual impression of the world.
It does, yeah. Well, I spent the first 24 years of my life not doing much other than sitting in a bar and slacking off from my lessons, so it's about time I did something useful with my time.
I hope it doesn't corrupt your viewpoints on the world.
How do you mean? Seeing enemies where there aren't? It does have a tendency to make one paranoid when people are sending assassins at you in the streets, but I try and keep a level head.
Usually those who acquire great amounts of power have to spend years in the acquisition of it. If you want to become a great mage, you spend decades and decades researching and studying, and that sort of time spent on a craft produces a certain amount of discipline.
Yeah.
Someone who drums up power like you have so very quickly might not have the discipline to use it appropriately, if you'll forgive my saying.
I understand
Power
the concern.
comes too quickly might lead you to too quick action when maybe you should take more time.
It would be nice to have more time, but unfortunately I think time is against us here. We can't hold off against Scoria and her minions forever.
Certainly.
Alright, well, you know, I study. No need to roleplay with Oxama too much.
I guess I'd like to go visit Ark Somber again. Or go
Really?
pick up
Like
Imric.
what again?
Go visit
Yeah.
Ark Somber again. Go visit.
Sure.
I can, yeah.
You arrive. Imric is there, getting ready to cast Read Magic and delve into the depths of this spell. You knock on the door. Are both of you arriving or just you?
We can both go.
We both would go, yeah.
Cool. And
Oh,
you
no.
are still invisible, Anton?
It would cancel when I walk through the...
Right.
Yeah.
I was just gonna see if you canceled it beforehand or if you just like turn visible as you enter the gates and freak everyone out.
I'll cancel it beforehand.
Thank you.
Expecting visitors, Ark Summer?
Never. Door opens. It's your brothers again.
I've got a bad
Brothers
feeling.
McGarry, once more. Welcome
Hi.
to my humble little corner of the castle. What brings you this day?
Wait, did something go wrong? Why are you here?
Just interesting times are before us. I thought maybe it'd be good to talk with Ark Somber about this particular predicament that we find ourselves in now.
Well, you two certainly are becoming fast friends. I like to see it.
I chuckle nervously. So Ark Somber. An interesting question to pose to you. Can zombies write letters?
What?
That depends, Tyrael. How specifically are we using the word zombie?
So I have a ring that affords me true sight for a short period of time. And me, my younger brother Anton here, observed this cleric of Verasi entering our house, leaving a letter, and then leaving. Glimpsing him with the ring apparently showed him to me as a zombie, or some sort of undead creature, I suppose, which gives me two big questions. One, why is a zombie visiting our mother and dropping letters off to her? And two, is the zombie himself able to write these letters, or is he delivering letters written by another person?
Intelligent, too. It speaks, it has conversations. It's unlike anything I've ever seen.
That is concerning.
Ark Somber adjusts in her chair uncomfortably. Sits up a little bit more. Well, my friends, I believe either we're dealing with a very powerful undead or some necromancer who can control them from afar. A zombie, in its classical definition, is too stupid, having absolutely no mind of its own or ability to write or compose words to perform this action. But in a more technical definition, a zombie is one of three types of undead. You have ghosts, skeletons, and zombies, and this is just a recognition of the decay. It carries with it some deeper effects. Zombies tend to have more strength because you can animate bone and flesh. Specters are the most difficult. Ghosts are the most difficult to do, but are often the more powerful or intelligent. Zombies are, or skeletons are more difficult to make than zombies since you need just the bones and they need to be properly connected, but are lighter and easier to make in numbers. So a
thing
zombie in
speaks,
this
though.
sense.
Does that not rule it out being a zombie being controlled by a necromancer? Wouldn't it?
A classical zombie is ruled out, but there are more complicated versions of zombies, higher orders of zombies, and I am not well versed in the realms of necromancy, as few are, but I do believe it's possible for a strong enough necromancer to inhabit the body of an undead. From a distance.
And project their own voice. Surely the vocal cords of a zombie would make it unable to carry a conversation convincingly.
That's what I would expect as well. But what other answer is there?
A lich?
That would be the other option. Or some other extremely powerful undead.
Well,
Have you made any undead enemies?
I laugh out loud. Sure, we've made quite a few enemies, both dead and alive at this point. We've slain vampires, dragons.
Wraith.
And
The
you
Wraith in the
have
city.
robbed many a grave. Vampires are a great indication of higher orders of undead that can speak. Vampires technically a zombie.
Did it look like a vampire, Tyrell?
I would know intimately what vampires look like, having been both attacked by some and slain some. Did it look like a vampire?
Yeah, this definitely didn't. No, vampires have a certain amount of charm and smarminess and well put togetherness, and this cleric was fine, but you didn't get any sensations. And also, it's the middle of the day, so vampire would burn up.
True.
Yeah.
Well, Scoria's main cleric is a cleric of veracity. Could be something to do with that. However, I feel like even veracity looks down upon undead magic, so I can't imagine.
Indeed. Does she have a necromancer in her employ? Do we know now? We did once upon a time have there was a big document with loads of information about Scoria, but I can't find it.
You, I think, are waiting on the reports from those people that took your amulet and your hat.
That stole what was rightfully ours.
Still
yes.
waiting. Still waiting.
Yeah,
I had to say they're putting it to good use.
If there might be such a report lying around that you guys haven't checked in on because it's been a while since you've checked in on that stuff, or maybe there's no more information to be had at this moment in time about Scoria's forces.
Well, I don't know about you. I know I warned against acting too quickly here, but I think, given these new revelations, we should ambush and kill this thing the next time it turns up at our house. No good can come of it.
Now,
Whatever this
that
is.
can't be true. If this is a trap, doesn't it pay to figure out what it is?
Yeah, we have all the cards right now.
I nod. Yeah, I see no reason in rushing any of this. It seems more intelligent for us to just wait and see what it's after, and then we can try to figure out from there.
I'm not sure I feel comfortable leaving the city with this thing still visiting our home.
Well, he's already dropped off 7 letters now. If he wanted to kill our mother, I think would have by now, yeah?
I suppose you're right.
Arksumber, while we're away, can we entrust you to look after this? And you have your oh-so-capable apprentice. Can you
like
figure
my
this out?
apprentice to find this person, this cleric?
Keep an eye on them at least.
I have
If you don't mind.
material.
I would feel better, Ogsummer, if I knew you were personally keeping an eye on the situation in our absence.
Yes, of course. I think that's fair. I have a couple of friends looking into it as well, but more eyes certainly couldn't hurt here.
He considers strongly for a moment. I think I can afford the resources for this task. There are many things that call my attention. I will have my apprentice keep an eye out and try to find this person, but my apprentice should do a fine job.
They come to the house on Wednesdays. This time next week.
Okay.
Well, look at that, Tyrell. It's a good thing I didn't dispose of him yet. Anton says in jest.
Of course. I think that before any of us take any moves relating to this, it'd be very nice if we consulted one another first.
Emmerich learned a sending spell for that reason, yeah?
Yeah, and I look to all 3 people in the room to confirm that. And I wait for a nod of approval on each individual.
Confirm what? I missed it. I
That
suppose.
we it'd be best if we conferred with each other before making any drastic moves relating to this person. I want to see a nod from Arksomber, from Imric, and from Anton.
You should already know that Anton will confer with you before making any rash decisions, hence his telepathy spell, but you will get a nod from Anton.
I agree, Tyrell. Won't leave this room.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I suppose for now then, there's not much else to be said, yeah?
Well, there's a few days until that merchant arrives.
Yeah, you learn your spells. Let's skip some time. Unless you guys have anything you need to do.
All right.
So I'm just taking a look at information on Scoria. She apparently does have a necromancer assassin working for her called Justina.
Okay, that's good.
Anton will visit the local temple. We're now giving a gold a day to every single fucking temple in the
One temple per town.
One temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest temple per town, yeah.
Yeah.
So he'll show up and see what happens. It'll be quick.
You are greeted. You are known at this point not only as a dragon slayer, but also as the premier cleric of vengeance in the world of Velthara. And on top of that, a handsome contributor to the temples here. So you are met and stepping forth as a cleric of Astaire who comes up to you and says, good sir, Anton. It's a pleasure to have you in our sacred grounds. What brings you to our holy place? Are you here to pray? Or are you here to check up on your newly appointed cleric?
I'm here to do a bit of both. Should be a newly appointed priest.
Priest,
I'm also here to
yes.
see how our money's being spent. I do trust that the church is going to use our generous, McGarry family's generous donation wisely.
We certainly will, my lord.
I would
We
say there's a lot
certainly
of
will.
poor people who could use it. I look around. Is like the place covered in like expensive drapings? Does it look like a posh temple?
It is upscale as most major temples are, and this is like the big temple in the middle of the capital, so this is
Yeah.
like the fanciest temple around, right? So the place looks pretty fucking fancy. But it's not.
Would I feel like it's needlessly fancy?
No. I was about to say it's not like
Not like
it's
there's
not-
golden urns like sitting around. Yeah.
Yeah. We're not at like the
The Vatican?
Yeah.
we're not at anything too expensive or extravagant.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll ask how the money's being, distributed. If poor people are going to be getting like, a sum.
Well, we put it in our general purpose coffers, for which we feed the poor, we give people shelter, we see to people's prayers, ministrate to the public, buy incense, and they list the things that a temple does and sort of the general works and how your added funds are adding to the general cause but haven't been earmarked for a specific task or purpose. And
I'm
just
looking
all the
to-
good works that the church does.
Maybe have a temple built in the Riverlands. Is this something that you would be interested in helping out with? Or you could maybe push me towards someone who could get this done? I don't know if the church like interconnects like temple to temple, like if they have like a
No,
structure.
usually in Arcadia, rather than having like one interconnected church with like a leader, each temple or each church serves that local populace and doesn't really connect with the others.
Got it.
So someone here might like volunteer to go live somewhere else and create a church for them, but then they would serve that local population and they would sever their ties with the mainland.
Okay, I'll ask just how much does he think it'll make to build a temple? Obviously not as posh as this, but place of worship.
Yeah,
for
I
halflings.
mean, he can give you some estimates. You
like a
need to either
big
buy or
ballpark.
build a building, furnish it, blah blah blah.
It's not like that big of a deal. We can sort this out offline. It's a far enough away thing. So okay, cool.
Okay.
I leave.
Yeah. Great. You're done. Anything else? Anyone else? We just want to skip to the weekend to the evening dinner party with where Richard comes to visit.
Yep, I think so.
Great. That weekend, Saturday night, big night. This gentleman named Richard is coming over for dinner. There will be some prep about it, some talk about it. Your mom will make sure you're all like, wearing your best and whatnot. And even though you are fully capable adults, she will still dote on you a little and try to make sure everything is well set up. Servants are prepared, a nice meal is to be had. Your mother lets you know that this man, Richard, is a wealthy businessman from Solwick. His endeavors include financing and overseeing this large mission to the southern island of Caledonia, where Drekis has pulled like a year and a half's worth of income out of it in like a year. It's been a huge source of wealth for the kingdom. In the process, he's also become a massive tradesman around the area, not as in like creating things, but in trading. He has many ships, warehouses, lots of property around the countryside. He has daughter married into a minor noble family in Solwick, her husband is now dead and lost to the world. He disappeared, and no one knows what happened to him. He's been gone for years and assumed dead. It's when the southern island disappeared.
Not lost to the world. There could still be writing letters back and forth to each other, right?
That's true, yeah.
She gives
Anton-
you a dirty look.
Anton will come in his dragon armor,
That's
which
the
Mom
right
is
call
probably
to make, yeah.
not pleased with.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, she's absolutely pleased. She will pat
good.
you on the back and be like, Emmerich, why can't you dress like your brother for a proper dinner? We're dragon slayers. Show your best.
Fuck, Emmerich.
What? You want me to wear armor?
Well, I just, make yourself presentable. We're meeting with an important man who helps not necessarily run the kingdom, but, he's a man of great means and a shaker and a mover. And if you want us to be a family that's not...
What are you talking about? These robes are very high quality. Tell Anton to do something about his face. I look great.
Jesus.
What rings do you have on? I check your rings.
Free action and ring of protection.
Changed my mind.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull Tyrell aside before dinner, before the guy gets here. I'm gonna explain to Tyrell what this guy did to the lady, and I'm gonna impart on him that I want to have a frank conversation with this guy. I feel like vengeance has been mostly done, but I do want an apology from him. Anton's basically going to try to big dick this guy into getting on his knees and saying sorry, and he wants to make sure that Tyrell's not going to freak out about it.
Do you really think that's wise with a man of this influence?
It's more about sending a message that we're not going to be bullied, and our constituents, our people, are not going to be bullied either, and that we don't run things that way.
When you say we,
I don't think it's-
do you mean we the McGarrys, or we the members of your religious cult?
We the McGarrys.
As long as you remember who you're representing, you can do with them as you wish. Just make sure to not be unnecessarily cruel or harsh. Remember that our reputation with this man will carry farther than we see.
Correct. Family first. Anton's cool with that.
All right. Well, the man arrives. He is well dressed, but not ostentatiously so. He clearly displays his wealth in the fine clothing he wears, but he is not deeply ornamented with jewelry. He's not decked out with fancy rings or anything like that. He does have an entourage that arrives with him. He's got like a couple of scribes and a couple of bodyguards, and he's doing business like right up until he gets to the door. And then he has his like crew wait outside in his carriage for the whole of dinner. He introduces himself. His name is Richard, and he is here to make amends to Anton McGarry for any problems he may have caused and speak with the McGarry household about how the two of them might work better together in the future. And I think this is when he takes note of you all and immediately comes up to you, Anton, and extends a hand, saying, I am Richard. I apologize if I have crossed you. I did not know that woman was under your protection. I hope I have made things right by returning the property to her better off than I had bought it from her.
I will extend a hand. I'll shake it and say, it's not that she's under my protection. I just don't think any people in the lands of Drekis should be swindled. And it seemed that you tried to do that to her. But I am happy that my what's the word? That I persuaded you into giving it back.
I'm not sure where your sources of information come from, but they may need re-examination. The woman's property was set to be absorbed and destroyed by the state. I bought it from her at the same time I was buying rights to the lands around her from the Prince of Kirschwick himself. Had I not stepped in and bought that from her, she would have had to sell it for far, far less. I made the woman a very good deal. I don't know if she actually understands what she was getting or... Sorry. She's under your protection. I should not speak ill of the young, simple-minded population.
As he's doing that, I'll firmly grasp his hand harder and harder as he continues going on. Hopefully,
Yeah, he stops
bit,
as you start to squeeze.
And then I'll let it go, and your apology was enough. And I'll sit down.
Well, Richard, welcome to our home. It's nice to meet you, though. Perhaps we've not run into each other under the best circumstances, but we are both faithful servants of Drekis, and I think it's good that we can all get along with each other and perhaps see how we could work together. I assume that's why you're here. Did you have something in mind?
Well, I figured it would be useful for us to speak since I am a man of great means. I don't like to exaggerate or toot my own horn, but I have quite a bit of money and influence these days. And the McGarry children, as I understand it, are some of the great dragon slayers in the area. It only seems fitting to me that we all know each other and are able to work together for a more prosperous future for Drekis and for our queen.
Would our new dragon heads be here? They should be, right?
By now, yeah, they
About a
will have
week?
arrived.
Or no, it's been 4 days, I think. Yeah.
Did
Just
you
as
see them
long
at all?
as-
I'm just curious.
Let's see, they arrived in Cronwick on Tuesday. They would have arrived here yesterday or today. They're probably at the dudes getting stuffed.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, like never mind.
Just as long as you're not planning to send us to any cursed continents, I'm sure we'll get along just fine. I'd say with a laugh.
My greatest regret. The death of my son-in-law.
Well,
I see
he
the look
died.
on my daughter's face, and I know not how to console her.
He died for a good cause. I'm aware that this expedition raised a great deal of money. I'm sure one man's life is worth that.
It's easy
No.
to say that when it's not your son-in-law who has paid the price.
You're
But
right.
if I were in your situation, I would say the same. If 3 of you died slaying Scoria, I would say it was worth your 3 lives. Although I'm sure your mother might disagree. But thus is the nature of war.
Indeed.
I'll shoot him a glare.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Yeah.
When he said that, was this like a... I mean, I'm sure like if you 3 died, I might not care as much. Your mom probably would. Or would it be... Was it more like a... I mean, if 3 McGarry kids died, like, only your mom's gonna give a fuck. How was this said?
No. This was definitely the former. Like,
Okay,
if
just making sure.
If it took
Okay.
3 people's lives. Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay. Just making sure there.
Anton shoots him a glare anyways and says, you plan us to go kill Scoria?
I imagine that most people, just for some meta on this,
Is that what people think?
everybody would have known this
Yeah.
by now, right? We're in a
You're
war against
slaying
Mysteria.
dragons,
We're the
right?
Dragon Slayers. We've got these. Yeah, I think most people would.
Yeah.
understand
Whether
us.
or not that
Yeah,
anyone
type of thing.
knows for certain that's your mission, like, that's the assumed mission.
Okay.
Yeah.
Silence at the dinner table.
I feel we've gotten off to maybe a more tense start than I had hoped for.
Perhaps a drink would help. And I will
Yes.
call over a servant to pour some wine. And I say, we pulled this one from the cellar. It's a fine bottle. Worthy of a man of your stature. I hope you enjoy it. And I'll take the bottle from the servant and pour us all a drink.
I don't have detect poison, so I'm not gonna. Anton will not drink it.
Gotcha. He will.
Oh, hang on. I pick one of the ones that's not poisoned, right? We can cast detect poison.
Well,
roll.
the issue is we've been gone for a while, right? I don't
You
know
didn't
if
keep
the
the
servants.
poisoned wine bottles mixed up with the non-poisoned wine bottles,
we
did you?
wouldn't. But Anton has been gone for a while. Anton's kind of nuts, a little paranoid, so he's not going to drink something that he can't check himself. That's
Okay.
where
No,
Anton's
that's
at.
fair.
Anton will,
Yeah, yeah.
will produce a cider from his cloak of plenty, and he'll eat and drink from that.
Yep. Great, yeah. You guys can have your drinks, food will arrive, your mother will make light conversation. She makes it really easy to talk with this guy. Just like easy, casual conversation. Little bit of flattery here. You know, she asks about his family. He tells about his daughter and his 2 granddaughters. He talks about how, you know, his late wife and how he misses her. You know, your mother talks about her late husband and how she misses him. You know, they talk about places they've been, the travels, what Solwick is like. They talk about the snow. They make it like, you know, really nice, easy, casual conversation. If there's any topics any of you guys would like to introduce to the table, now is an appropriate time.
I don't think there's much for us to talk to this guy about, right? This is more just a
Yeah.
formality. We're being nice, kind of introduce each
Yeah, I
other.
thought
Yeah.
Come talk to us.
right.
Awesome,
Well,
yeah.
Can we
So,
can we
you
kind of
know-
have like a frank conversation with how? So this guy is mainly a merchant, right? You said he doesn't make things.
Merchant and
Yeah.
trader.
Yeah. So like, how's business, and then like how's business? Like I'm sure that he has like on the up and up some stuff that he does, and then it's a time of war. He's a merchant. I'm really well connected to the family. I know that right now there's a huge uprift between like the people in Mystria and the people in Drekis because they don't know which side to take, and usually that means well for merchants because in times of chaos they have more business. Like, how does he know anything about that, or how is he connected through that situation? Yeah.
Yeah, when you start to drop a little bit of thieves' cant in there to be like, how's business? You can see his eyes like flick up and over to you immediately, like he catches what you're saying, but he quickly and obvious to you dodges the question as if he doesn't want to answer it right now or feels uncomfortable speaking about it in this situation.
Sure. Is it right now? Is it just it's our mom, 3 McGarry kids, and then the one guy, right?
This guy, and then some servants that are standing
Yeah,
around
gotcha.
to help you out.
Okay.
So your mother will mention to him, well, it's such a sad thing to have seen your son die. All of Drekis mourned for the loss of William Marshall.
Is it true?
True.
Did people give a fuck?
Yeah.
The people who knew him gave a fuck.
So
That's
no.
everyone.
No.
Everyone
But we didn't care.
Hang on,
we
hang
didn't
on,
care.
hang on.
You guys didn't really even know who he was. Your mother might have known.
Listen. Imric knew who he was. Imric was a huge fan.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Your mother seems to have known who he was, and she speaks of his great strength, which Richard bobs his head in acknowledgement of, and his courage, and Richard bobs his head in acknowledgement of it, and yada yada. And then she finally gets around to, well, but it is a shame that your daughter must raise her children alone. Is this a necessity? My sons are dragon slayers, and I like to be a little on the nose and upfront about these things. Perhaps there is some future here. My eldest, Tyrael, I believe is about the same age as your daughter. Maybe a few years younger, but second marriages are more flexible than firsts. Richard sits back and goes, well, I'm a resourceful man. This is something I had already considered. I consider it with any applicable family, but especially one as well connected and important as yours. But I think that depends more on the children. He looks directly at you, Tyrael. Are you a man who intends to be wed?
I shrug my shoulders, nod my head a bit. I think that there definitely might be potentiality for a McGarry union with your family. Although perhaps with where we're at in our stages of life right now, Imric or Anton would be more interested in this particular union than I.
No
Well,
offense
what-
to your brothers, but the life of a cleric and that of a wizard I do not think would suit my daughter very well. She as more inclined to the warrior archetype, if you know what I mean.
Anton takes great offense to this. I'll have you know, I am quite the warrior, and I am right there next to Tyrael, slaying dragons with him, as you see by my armor. Do you think I just had this handed to me? I ask him. Frankly.
She also prefers gentlemen who are not so defensive and aggressive. Someone with
Then
a
she
little
would
more.
not prefer me.
Let's not argue about this. I'm sure your daughter's tastes are known to her alone.
If I
Let's
wanted your
not.
daughter, I'd have her, he says.
Anton, please.
Excuse me?
What the fuck? What do you mean by that, Anton?
Anton drinks his drink. You heard me.
Haha, it was poison after all. Roll a save. Not really.
Right now we are in the middle of so many other affairs and so much traveling that it's hard to commit any of us to any particular relationship at the moment. But I'm sure there are great discussions to be had here. Once the majority of our work is done, of course. Yes.
Yes, perhaps give it a few weeks. Maybe things will change by then.
Of course, of course. And there's also the matter of, to speak frankly, love and duty. I don't know if my daughter will ever stop loving her late husband. I don't know if a marriage would be more than political in nature. Vows said, but separate apartments perhaps, or, whatever could be worked out. I think this would be a joining of houses less than a union of souls.
Of course.
So do keep that in mind.
Interesting. Well, we'll consider it, Richard, I suppose. Or Tyrael will consider it, I mean.
Of course. Consider it considered.
Now, on to another matter. I am a man of great means. I have ships at my availability, some which I own, some which I rent or have hired captains to work on my behalf. If you have any transportation or cargo needs, please do not... please leave a message with my office here in the capital or in any of the other major coastal ports, and I will, of course, help you in whatever means possible.
We all seem to be making travel towards Cronwick. Perhaps you could help us.
I have a ship in Cronwick. It is sitting in the harbor waiting to unload cargo into a warehouse which no longer exists. Could easily be repurposed for something else.
Because we were planning to travel from Cronwick to Paradise Island to slay the green dragon there.
He spits up his wine. Excuse me?
Not to spend too much time with the locals. We're more interested in the dragon there. But if
Are you going to help the dragon rid the island of the gnomes?
One thing at a time. The dragon first, then perhaps the gnomes. But if I know dragons, it's likely to have a great deal of coins and valuable materials that won't be so easy to transport back home from Paradise Island once the deed is done. Maybe your ships could help us in that regard.
If it were any other trip, I think this wouldn't be much of a problem. Paradise Island is a place many of my men prefer not to go, but it is possible. I had a ship's captain once. Helped resupply my men in the south. Her name was Zaz. She was fantastic. She would have taken you there in a heartbeat. But my captain in Kershwick is a less open-minded gentleman.
Well, we can requisition our own ships. No need to worry yourself, Richard.
Well,
I
my
appreciate
men
the
still
offer.
follow my orders. I will see to it that he goes. He may just kick and scream along the way.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, that's kind of you. Thank you. I suppose we all serve the same goal here.
Yes. Now, if you young gentlemen don't mind, I feel that your mother and I probably have adult matters to discuss. Perhaps we shall see you another time.
Off.
Adult matters. Am I doing
Like
this?
the cut of this guy's
Tyrael.
jib.
Yeah.
But
Wait, are we intruding here, Mother?
Your mother, kind of fans herself gently. I think he was being humorous, is all. Lord Richard. is
Okay.
a single man, and I'm a single woman, yet we both have our ties to the world. Still, there's not often a gentleman calls on me, Emmerich.
No, there's no harm in it. No harm in it at all, Mother. Anton and Tyrell and I were just leaving. I hope you have a great night. And I glare at Anton and say, and like motion for us to leave. Like let's not gatekeep our mother here. And I sort of
Look at
stand
my
up from the
spells real
table.
quick.
I stand up from the table and I'm waiting expectantly for the other two to stand up and leave with me.
Yeah, I
You
stand.
know, there should be in the Cleric of Velthara realm a cause impotence
Yeah,
spell.
that's what I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. The servants pull your chairs out. You guys can shuffle out if you need.
Anton sits there a few extra seconds, glaring at him. He'll stand up, walk out.
And you can hear as you guys walk out and the door begins to shut behind you, your mother saying, I do apologize for my sons. They have seen much battle and have yet to rest their weary heads from their travels. They are a wee bit agitated, and you start to lose the sound as the doors swing shut and you guys
just
are in
hear
the rest
Richard
of the
going,
house.
ooh yeah.
They mean woo.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait like
Sorry, yeah.
can I hear them go to my mom's room at some point?
Jesus.
Just got a quick one, too.
Don't
I
be
just
so
got a
fucking
quick
weird.
one.
No, we're leaving. We're going out to a
I
bar.
just got a
We're
quick
leaving.
one.
No,
No,
we're
no, no,
leaving.
no, no,
We're
no.
leaving.
Where do you wanna
We're
go?
leaving.
If I hear them go to the room, I'm gonna wait like 5 minutes.
No. They
No.
have dinner for another
Yeah.
half hour, and then
Okay,
he gets in
okay.
the carriage and goes home.
We leave.
Ah, fuck. Okay.
we're
I was
leaving.
gonna cast
We're leaving.
telepathy on him and fuck with him.
No.
We leave. Come on, let's go to a bar. Let's leave our mother with the house.
All
Okay.
right, fuck it. Let's go.
And I think
Probably
with that,
worse
we can
than-
take our last break. We'll come back on the other side and go to Gnome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get some rhyming in before the session's over.
We'll be back.
Oh,
We're back.
well.
What? Say it.
Anton, Anton wasn't insinuating that he was gonna, rape his daughter. Okay, he was more insinuating that if he wanted her hand in marriage, he would make it happen. Okay, that's what he was insinuating.
Left it vague on
Let the
purpose.
guy take it how he wants, but that's what
Yeah,
Anton meant
well,
by it.
exactly.
Okay.
Just to clear that up.
Just to clear it up, yeah.
Of
Words
course,
are
yeah.
complicated. You might say something with one intent, and someone could read it with an entirely different intent.
true.
You know? Language
true.
is a two-way street. I get you.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well,
XP.
I will. Oh no, we're still studying right now. Shall I roll the check? Sending.
Yes, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days brings us all the way to next Tuesday. Your mother will also have given her next message to. Wait. What are you doing? Middle?
Yeah, I'm doing middle again. 20 to 80.
20 to 79.
This is the fucking way. Let's go.
Oh my god, you
Another one.
figured it out.
I know.
Wait, it's 21 to 80, right?
That's what we did last time, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sure. All right, sending. Done. Okay, and then the day that I finish it, I will cast Clairvoyance, Neil, into the room that I stayed in the Prince of Cronwick's keep.
When were you in Cronwick?
When we
Remember
stole
when we
his
stole
rings.
the fire ring? We went to the ball. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right. Okay, cool. You can clairvoyance into the room. It is a guest room in the house. What time of day are you clairvoyancing?
I guess it's just the day that I get done learning the spell, so it's probably like early evening, I guess, maybe something like that.
Early evening on a Tuesday. Excellent. Yeah. So you scry on in. You can see that there is a servant.
Perfect.
Currently unpacking someone's suitcase in the room and like putting clothes in drawers and closets and stuff.
Projecting.
I project self into the room, yeah.
The servant's back is presently to you while you appear in the room.
Excuse me.
The
No
servant
need to panic.
whirls
No need to
around.
panic. No need to panic. My name is
Cool.
Imric McGarry. I am a friend of the Prince of Cronwick.
McGarry?
That's correct. We stayed here. I stayed in this very room, hence my appearing here.
I am not a servant of the family of Cronwick. My master hails from Darcis. Forgive me for not knowing much about who you are. Is that the same McGarry as lives in the capital with the dragon heads?
Indeed, the very same. I don't suppose you could do me a favor, could you? And escort me to one of the Prince of Cronwick's servants.
Excuse me? Of course.
Thank you. I motion to the door for them to open the door for me.
Yeah, they'll open the door and begin to lead you out, and now we get into seriously complicated territory because your movement requires
Yeah. So at some
You
point I end up
moving.
walking into a wall.
that's gonna
Realizing that
happen really fast.
I stop and I say, sorry about that. Run into a problem here. Could you
Have the servant go to you.
could you bring one of the servants to me, please? Yes, that would be. I'm afraid I'm limited by my magic here.
Of course.
Sorry. I understand this is a very unusual request, but I have very important business, and this is the only place I know in Cronwick, and I will be needing to teleport my brothers and I to Cronwick so we can move on from here. This is the only place I know. That's why we're here. I just want to okay it with the prince before I go through with the actual teleports. As I am right now, I'm only an illusion. I know this is more information than you need, but please understand.
Of course. I will get a servant for you post haste.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
scurries out of the room, excited to be free of the strange apparition. Moments later, a servant and two soldiers arrive in the room. Soldiers carrying spears. There's been some sort of intrusion. The servant arrives as well and just looks at you. Lord McGarry, it's wonderful to see you again. What might I do on your behalf?
Greetings. My brothers and I are traveling to Cronwick, and I can teleport us here, but to do so, I need a familiar location, and this is the place I've spent the most time in Cronwick. I just wanted to warn the prince's household before doing so. We do not intend to stay, although we do need to spend the night in Cronwick, and if
You
there was a
simply
room
need
for
a
us.
place to teleport to safely.
That's correct, yes.
Of course.
One last thing.
Is this the most appropriate room for you?
This room is fine, yes. I know this room well. I've stayed here. Could you do me a favor, though, and make sure that the room directly below this is... Well, actually, how high are the ceilings here? More than 10 feet, right?
No, they're about, they're Edwardian style, about, 8 to 10 feet.
You make sure that the room below us, below this room, is cleared of furniture, just so I don't end up with a table in between my legs or something like that.
Of course. I shall see to it at once. When
Thank you.
shall we expect your teleportation? We have guests that we're intending to stay in this room.
I'll give you an hour to move the furniture, and then I'll be here, and I'll be out of your hair.
1 hour from this moment.
1 hour from this moment.
Of course.
I reach out a hand to shake theirs.
The servant gives you a bow, being formal and appropriate,
Pat them on the head and disappear.
and pff, you're gone.
Okay. We travel to Cronwick in an hour. Gather your supplies, brothers. I'm like
I gather
standing
my shit.
facing in front of
Sounds
the
good.
wall, I assume.
Do we need anything in particular for this green dragon? How are we protecting ourselves from its breath?
We have a protection from gas.
It only lasts for 5 minutes, though. So we got to be careful about when we use it.
Enough.
We feel comfortable and all that? It's going to be okay?
I don't feel super comfortable, but it's probably going to be fine. I think what we want to do is catch it in the open and shoot it down out of the air. I don't think we want to have to go through the rigmarole of going into its lair. Now, if it finds out we're coming, it may hide. So that's why I think the best thing we could do is maybe to just go straight there and not go to the gnomes. But that does mean not knowing anything about the dragon, so it's kind of
It's going to find out we're coming if we...
It might have spies in the town.
What is the green dragon relative to the blue dragon we killed, Azeron? Do we imagine this to be
Less.
stronger? Less.
It's less.
About the more or less the same, a little bit less strong, yeah. So it shouldn't be a great deal of problem. But I just think I bet you it flies around its little hills all the time, so if we can just like catch it in the open there, it's gonna be the best way.
Okay.
All right, so I wait an hour, Neil, and I will teleport there. Can you tell me how well I feel I know this? I clairvoyanced it. I've just walked around it. I stayed there for a few nights.
Yeah. Let's see. You stayed there for a few nights, but that was like a year ago, right?
Yeah.
You did just clairvoyance it and walk around it. Let me open my player's handbook and look at the ruling on the spell. Teleport. Teleport.
If we die from teleport, guys, does that count as me torpedoing the campaign? Just,
Yep.
I just wanna know.
It does.
Yep.
It does indeed.
It does.
Just letting you know.
Good.
Absolutely it does.
Teleport. Never seen, viewed once, seen casually, studied carefully, very familiar. So it's not very familiar. It's either seen casually or studied carefully.
Studied
As in-
carefully.
Well, of course you want that, but
But it's not seen casually, though, because I've stayed there and I've just been there.
it's more than viewed once. If you had just clairvoyanced it, then it would have been viewed once, right? So you clairvoyanced it, you projected into it, and you've also been there before. But I don't know if it's studied carefully. I think this is more of like a seen casually. Like you stayed in this room a year ago, and then you spent like 10 minutes in it right now.
Okay, hang on. I need to look at the spell exit.
That is a 9 to 96 is success.
Just let me nap you. You project yourself back. You study it more carefully. We get another, however long they need to,
I think studied carefully would require like true amounts of time studying carefully. Maybe.
Do we just fucking do it?
There's literally no downside to just napping and going back and looking over it again, right? Is there a single
Neil's saying
possible...
it's gonna need more than one casting to
Yeah.
Like,
If you want to fall into studied carefully, I assume that needs a certain amount of like time to carefully study.
How
the
long does it
area.
need?
Few hours, maybe.
Okay, we'll do that because the spell
okay.
is as long as he wants, right?
Yeah. Project self is.
Okay, yeah, we'll just do that. We'll wait.
Okay. I nap for an hour. I go back with project self. I tell him I might need a few more hours. I just need to study the room. And then I'll spend 3 hours, Neil, studying the room, I suppose.
Sure. Yeah. There is someone who is supposed to be moving in. They are a noble lord from Darcis who was a little miffed at having to,
Yeah, I mean,
vacate the room while
wait,
some
wait.
strange wizard looks
Could
in.
I study a different room for 3 hours and get studied carefully? Or does it have to be this room that I've slept in?
No, that seems fine to me.
Yeah,
Why,
so I'll
it should
just
be
go
the
to
same,
another-
whatever room they told you to prepare underneath,
Oh, right,
right?
yeah, because the furniture, true, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, poor.
What?
Dumb
Some fucking
noble.
minor noble lord from
Yeah, who
Darcis. Who
cares?
gives a shit what they think, right?
True, yeah.
Fucking
true.
A.
Nice,
Yeah.
Neil.
So you can study the room carefully for a while, and then it is a 5 to 98 on a D100 is what you're aiming for.
Yeah, literally can't go wrong. There you go.
Yeah, you're good.
We teleport.
Would have been fine even if you'd only viewed it once. You're fine.
Yeah. Okay, and we arrive.
in Darcis,
Do
in
they-
Cronwick.
Do they feel generous enough to offer us a room for the night or not?
You had already said you didn't need to stay for a room, so
Okay.
they make no such offer.
Or
But
wait,
by now
he
it
did
is
it. He,
late into the night.
he did explicitly say that we needed to stay one night. I do remember that.
I did say that, but it doesn't matter. We can stay in the finest inn in town. It's probably nice in the shitty keep anyway.
True.
Not necessarily wrong.
Yeah.
You make your way to the finest inn in town.
And after the nap, what I will do this night, and I will do it again in the morning, is I've learned 3 clairvoyant spells. So I want to first of all try and just clairvoyance on top of Gnome Island, and then I want to use the next spell to like zoom in a little bit, and then the next spell to like zoom in a little bit again. Because I figure that if I can see it once, I can get an idea of where it is, and then it's easier for me to
Right. So you want to
get a
use
better
successive
location.
clairvoyant spells to get closer and closer.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't even necessarily need the city as much as I just would like. If I could just find like a nice distinctive tree with a nice little glade under it that we can all just picture this nice tranquil tree and all the flowers and all of that, that'd be perfect. So I'm going to do the same again tomorrow with 3 more clairvoyant spells if I need more detail.
I can also nap you, so you can have like 9 in total.
So distance is not a factor, but the locale must be known, familiar, or obvious. So how can you justify a place you've never been and never seen and only know about from stories and maps as familiar or obvious?
Wait, didn't
Well,
we
I
agree
know-
that we were just going to take a boat, Nick?
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yeah, we're just going to take a boat.
Sorry, yeah, I don't do this then.
Also, can we get XP?
Yeah, you guys chilled for a week, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Needed 3
Okay.
dragons.
2. 3.
No.
No.
Get away at the
Yes.
end, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
They were youngins.
Yeah. Now you would normally, Neil, fighting 3 dragons at the same time is worth more than fighting
Is that true?
That is
one
true.
dragon,
That is a
one
great-
dragon 3 times.
It
That
has
is
to
a
be.
more dangerous task, I would certainly say.
I would
10
say.
times more dangerous.
Maybe 30. Who knows?
Sounds like
You
we need to go to the
you gotta
front
still
lines.
realize that it didn't look too dangerous, but one of the dragon bites could technically probably one-shot Anton again.
Okay.
That's
So
what happened
when was the
before.
last time we got XP here?
2 sessions, 3 sessions ago.
So the major you already got XP for killing Georg, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's just
So
the
this
brown
would be-
dragons. pretty
It's
much.
just the
be
dragons and everything that happened this week.
Yeah, this would be XP for Anton setting up all his people in every different spot, so maybe some
Right.
cleric XP. Tyrael getting, well, he got the item, so I guess that's what he gets.
Right.
Emmerich, maybe
So-
spell XP, yeah.
Dragon slaying XP, setting up clerics around the realm XP. That's extra 0. Whoops. Let's see. Experience with, there's this weird thing going on where there's like a zombie showing up and delivering your mother letters from beyond the grave. Not too out of character for a zombie, perhaps. probably real. Okay. Richard stuff, house stuff, vengeance stuff for that. Transporting dragon heads, bringing dragon heads back into the city. We'll add some more thousands of experience for story plots. Divide up between 3 characters. Each of you take home 15,000 experience points.
Okay. Does Anton get any extra clerical XP for his stuffs?
Yeah, you can take another 20% of that. So what is 20%? Another 3,000 for your cleric.
Cool.
Neil, I've got from spells learned, which is a lot because I learned all those level 5 spells, and spells cast, it's 3,900.
Yep.
And then hit die for fighter. It'd just be the dragons times 3, I think.
Right. Hit dice was 13 times 3 hit dice.
So 39 times 80.
39 times 80. 3,120 for the fighters.
There's not music playing right now, is there?
There
not?
is.
Oh.
I can. You might want to refresh your browser. I might want to refresh mine.
Do you want to refresh yours first, or do you want me to do mine?
Let's do them all at the same time.
Okay. I got about another like 1,000 XP from cleric spells. Is that chill?
That's chill. Anything else?
No,
That's it from me.
I don't think anyone leveled.
No.
Not even close.
Not
That's
even
it.
close.
We're done leveling this campaign.
I think we got one more
Yeah,
level.
then
on
we can
this.
just stop giving XP. Cool.
No, it's good. Okay, we get a boat from Cronwick over to Birkin.
Yeah.
Such a boat can be conceived of, and it can be acquired. So,
All divination if the seas will be fine. 83% chance to go off.
all
I know if
so
it fails,
from
so I can roll it.
Whalers Bay. You're boating to Birkin,
Yeah.
134 miles. That's going to be about 4 or 5 days. That would normally be 1 gold per person per day for like normal travel. You guys want to be nobles, it'll be a few more. It'll be like 3 gold per person per day. So that's 5 days. 3 of you is 15 times 3 is 45. And then
What?
Noble
that's a
tax.
normal trip. But ain't no one from Whalers Bay going to Birkin on their own. So you got to find like a smaller vessel that you can chart for yourself, just for this trip. So 1-way trip to Birkin, 100 gold.
Jesus
And it-
Christ!
No one wants to go there, but they will do it.
Sure, it's fine. I'll take off 100 platinum off my sheet.
100
No,
platinum?
146. Yeah, I took, or sorry, 50 platinum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's been taken off my sheet.
This is a 1-way trip, right? You don't need them to come pick you up afterwards.
We do not.
Did Richard not say he's going to take us back with all the dragon's gear?
You did not talk. You said you might need a ship from Cronwick, and then you never talked about the rest of this with him. This did not come up in conversation, so.
I said that we're killing the green dragon. We might need to transport our stuff back from there to Drakus. But it's
Yeah, but I think it got left.
yeah. Okay, fine.
Yeah. So
Well,
well,
we might need them to pick us up then.
So when we get to Cronwick, I cast a divination. It fails. I cast another one after a nap. It fails.
Jesus.
I'm gonna cast 2 more in Whalers Bay. Let me know when I can.
Yep, you can just get to Whalers Bay the very next day. You take a journey down this difficult river. You guys don't have to worry about it too much, but there's it's basically in canoes being rowed down, and a couple of waterfall moments you have to pull off and walk the canoes around, and then sail through this nasty swamp where you're told lizard men live. but it's not that big of a deal. You're not afraid of a couple of lizard folk. And then shortly thereafter, you end up in Whalers Bay.
One of my divinations goes off. Will we have a successful journey from Whalers Bay to Birkin?
You get a long, yeah, from your deity.
Good.
Cool. Before we get on the boat in Whalers Bay, I will go and speak to the harbour master. And yeah, I'll just go up to him and say, "Excuse me, sir, are you the harbour master here?"
I am.
Fantastic. I'll be looking for a trip back from Paradise Island at some point in the future, maybe a week or two. I shall send you a message, but to do so, I need your name. Could you tell me your name, please? And I'll pay you for arranging this for me on my return.
I am Lord Vincent Timber.
Great.
And
I
you,
study his
sir?
face. I am Imric
Your name.
McGarry. I head to Paradise Island to slay the Green Dragon and free the gnomes from its yoke.
Reminder, a few minutes ago, he was afraid that if we went to Birkin, that the dragon would find out we were coming for it.
It's true. That is true. Can't help myself.
I respect it.
Good luck, Lord Imric McGarry, Slayer of Dragons.
Thank you, Vincent Timber. I shall be speaking to you shortly. My message will appear as a small ditty inside your brain. Do not be alarmed. You can respond to me when you hear it.
So we're going to Birkin, Dal, Grablin, Math, Del, Ditios, Blah, Venstein. Koibu? Does that sound
Did you
right?
look up the full name of the place?
Yeah, I'm curious.
We just call it Birkin, but it has a long-winded name.
Good.
All right, we set off.
Okay.
The time is now, Neil. Is there any gnomes on the boat going with us?
Please say it, gosh.
There.
Yeah, roll for
No,
it.
you had to chart a ship
private
because they didn't
boat.
want to go there. So there's no gnomes on this boat.
Before we get on, I go into the nearest tavern on the dock, and I bust in, and I look for a table of gnomes and say,
Well, hold on.
okay.
There's still the whole journey to contend with. It's a 5-day trip. It's
No,
not...
I mean in Whalers Bay. Bay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
I go into a tavern, and if I see any gnomes, I will say to them, "We have chartered a ship to Paradise Island, to Birkin. You're welcome to come aboard if you would like to return home."
I think we'd probably need a public roll to see
ship?
if there are any.
Home?
Oh, okay.
Do I need to take out a loan? Will you take me there? How will we fare?
No loan is required. You can come with me. The journey will be trouble-free.
Inspired.
Why, splendid! Thank you, good sir. I didn't know where we were. I thought this was a land of savages. But you, my friend, you, my mind ravages. I would happily sail with you to my place of stay. If you would just be kind enough to point us the way.
Come with me, my friend, and soon your journey will come to a happy end, and I shall leave
He
the
springs
tavern.
up from the table, throws his arms around you, and it seems you've made yourself a friend.
I have made myself a friend. I come aboard the boat with my gnome to the glares of my brothers as I bring this chirpy little fellow aboard.
Oh, it's not just one. There are 3. 2 more followed behind thee.
Fantastic. Come, one and all. Our destination is across the shore.
You're Imric McGarry. Isn't that true? I would know that from your head, which is quite so hairy. Tell us, did you slay a dragon? We've heard it said that there was a dragon head aboard your wagon.
1 dragon, 2 dragon, 3 dragon, 4. I hope to slay many, many more.
Are you here for the green? Are you here for Abraxas?
Indeed, I seek to free the gnomes from the beast that coddles their homes.
One of them breaks down and openly weeps. Another turns to you and says, "For generation after generation, our people have been tested and tried. This dragon, it plagues us. We always ask why. We never know other than its big, mighty green maw. For that is the last thing a great many gnome has saw."
Well,
Are they
do
at our
not worry,
ship?
my friend. It will be dead, for sure. But now is not the time for chat. Please, stay quiet. My rhyming falls flat.
They give you a formal gnomish bow that has 3 flourishes in it, and then scatter around the rest of the ship, and you can hear the groaning of the sea captain as they realize that they are not just taking people to gnome, they're taking gnomes to gnome. A mixed bag of nuts, because now there's fewer gnomes in their hometown, but now they have to deal with them in this moment.
Yeah.
People are racist towards gnomes. This is fucked.
Yes, this is open, socially acceptable racism. One of the
Jesus.
few instances still standing.
I greet the gnomes and I shake their hands.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome aboard.
This is a voyage to which I most look forward.
Now, my brother might be taken aside by your rhyming, but I will have none of it, okay? I'm here to slay
Perfect
dragons.
timing. Well then,
And I
don't be
guess we set
lagging.
off.
All right, we travel. You know,
Okay.
I rhyme with the gnomes to the best of my ability when I feel it. And yeah, only for maybe like 10 minutes a day. I don't want to exhaust all my rhymes, you know. So I'll go and speak to them for 10 minutes, and then I spend the rest of that night thinking of like new things to say to them, and I'll go back the next day and speak to them in rhymes again.
Excellent. The gnomes mostly keep to themselves. They get this like quarters pushed way, way, way at the back of the hold, well out of the way of everyone else. And a small table is set up on the top deck for them because they just won't fit at the table in the galley. So a small table is provided on the top deck.
I'm
And
sure
once
that
the
was the
gnomes
reason.
seat at that table, there are many looks and nods about like, you know, the children's table up there. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right, you guys can make your way to Birkin. Let's take a look down over here. So your voyage is, as we mentioned before, 5 days. And as we round around the southern hills, you will see a lot of rocks in the ocean and many ships wrecked among the rocks. Your captain will go wide around them. And as you get closer to Birkin, you can see more shipwrecks, even closer to shore. Fewer rocks, still some, but lots of like little bits of mass sticking out. You can see the sea around here is quite shallow, and if it is calm enough today, let me roll some dice. 2 and 4 is 6. That is calm weather indeed. You can see quite nearly to the bottom of the sea here. It's maybe 100-something feet at the deepest places, and only 20 feet in the more shallow places. You can see many weird
Wait, was this intentional?
ships. This is intentional. There are a lot of bizarre ships.
Or
here.
no, never
Some
mind.
of them-
You rhymed twice in that. I don't know if you intended to or not.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it was.
If I did, then I'm just like stuck on it and not even meaning.
Okay.
You can see these ships are bizarrely shaped. Some of them are like square. Some of them are wider than they are long. Some of them have like indented fronts. They look like someone said, well, if a ship looks like this, what if we built it in this crazy configuration that could help us in this conceivable way? And then like immediately sank. So this looks like a graveyard of failed Gnomish inventions. And you will also see a series of very large stone plaques that have been dropped to the bottom of the ocean around these ships. I don't think you can make out the words from this distance on them, and they're probably in Gnomish anyway, so why even bother trying? But it is a spooky sight for a sailor as you make your way into Birkin.
Anton
Great.
is ready.
Sail on, yeah.
But just so you guys know, the gnomes consider it rude if you don't rhyme. And
Good.
if they don't, I don't know how much they apply that to us, but if you're talking to one and he stops rhyming, that probably means you've pissed him off.
Good.
What's he gonna do?
Who knows?
I'll go up to the captain before we leave and apologize to him for what we brought on him. Give him an extra 5 platinum to send him on his way.
What's our plan here, lads? Are we gonna? I kind of told these gnomes what we were doing. I was just rhyming and trying to think of a rhyme and panicked and told them why we were coming here. But should we try and keep this a secret, or should we just play into it and see if the gnomes can help us?
Yeah, maybe we should keep it as secret as we can. I notice you seem to have a problem leaking our plans to everybody, Emric. Perhaps.
Well, I understand. In this case, yes. But Alexombar, I consider an ally. So I don't think that I was wrong in mentioning that. I'm glad you brought it up though, Tyrone.
It's great, but I mean, like, she's already sent somebody to tail us. This could have been one of her people as well. We should just be careful with who we open our mouths to, I think.
Fine, fine. Not everything is a secret, but I understand.
Anton smiles at you.
You approach Nome. The town is filled with smokestacks. You can see the heat waves of great fires of industry burning throughout the walled town of Birkin. On each facet of the wall sits a ballista or a scorpion or some sort of mechanized tool of war, and a half dozen gnomes scurry around going from one to the other. The great harbor here is just awash in weird ropes attached to large cranes and strange mechanical structures with wheels and oxen pulling the wheels. You can see that some boats are being lifted out of the water on these like enormous nets, and some boats here are like literally gnomish sized, where everything is condensed really small, and they have these like really short masts that you could easily just block all the wind from. As your gangplank goes down on the stone walkway, the three of you step off. Your gnomish followers scurrying between your legs to get the hell off that boat.
Before we step off the plank, I look to Anton and say, Anton, don't look so glum. We're gonna have fun.
Anton gives you a punch on the shoulder.
You can see a pack of 12 gnomes.
On the ship, I would have
Some of
cast
them.
3 unfailing endurances, by the way.
Okay. You can see a pack of 12 gnomes. Most of them dressed in this weird sort of gnomish workman's armor, which is essentially leather armor that has lots of little slots on it for tools. And they've got like a screwdriver here, a hammer here, 4 more screwdrivers over here. We'll put some nails over here. We'll put a wrench over here, like just craftsman tools worked into the leather armor to make it, slightly better than leather. Some of them have weapons at their sides. And you can see a pack of 20 of these guys running down the stone.
I'd say there was 12 a minute ago. That
Can't stop himself. Sorry.
And I think as you guys are rushed by 20 or 30 gnomes, we will end our session for the day.
Oh my gosh, we have 18 minutes, Koibu.
No, I think it's
a little
okay,
early.
right?
This is a perfect place to end, so that way anyone who doesn't want to deal with gnomes can just skip the next session and then come back in. Like,
the people are rioting, but that's fine.
I think it's fine.
They
It's a good
love
outing,
gnomes.
But this means we get a whole 4-hour session of gnomes next time, and Neil
Oh
gets
my
to plan-
god. And we
chance to
can't
plan
get
his rhymes.
sidetracked or diverted or kicked
Yeah,
off
we're
the
here
island
now.
anyhow. Oh my goodness.
Hell yes. We're gonna be these gnomes Jesus. We're gonna be the Christ figures.
It's gonna be good.
Do you have any questions on the Patreon, Steve?
Oops, hold on. This one. Yeah, I think we've got 2 actually. Let me check. Two questions this week. If you guys want to submit questions, sign up to the appropriate tier on the Patreon. You can submit questions and we will answer them at the end of the weeks. Since the players are so high level and have GG gear now, what does GG mean? God
Good
gear?
game.
Good gear?
Good game.
good game.
It's like
It's
over.
just GG, yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any long-term plans for the campaign to continue after Scoria, assuming there are survivors after the battle? Well, I guess that'll be determined. But I'm
I
pretty
think pretty much
sure.
all falls on Steve, but I'm down to continue playing with my high-level character.
Yeah, and I think Koibu is on board to do stuff after too,
Yeah.
right?
I think when we finish Tombs of Scoria, like when we finish killing Scoria, we can decide if we want to like stretch it out a little bit longer and seek further domination or whatever, or if this is like an appropriate time to close the book and then like bring back another show with the same characters at a higher level with maybe like a different name, although that might not be good for like SEO and whatnot. But there will be options that we will have to discuss at that point in time. To be honest, at the rate you guys are going, 1, maybe 2 sessions for the green dragon. I don't know if you want to do the other green dragon in Matava, and
That's
then
lost.
maybe
The
5 to 6.
No, we need to go to the black dragon in Solon to get the ion stones.
So we're looking at maybe 10
I think like
more
10 to
sessions.
15.
Yeah.
10 to 15 is probably going to round us out here if everything goes smoothly.
Well, if we are going to do, a second chapter high level, it's kind of a dark ending, but the brothers, driven mad by the dragon slaying weapons and due to their increased power, find a way to the dragon plane and are forced to just spend the next several years exploring it, slaying every dragon they meet, collecting unfathomable wealth and power.
You say forced to,
pretty
but
cool.
I mean,
Well,
For
like
Koibu.
forced to, because we've been like driven mad, So.
sure. For Koibu, what have been the most memorable, clever actions that a player or players have done in any of your campaigns?
So,
Someone threw a dagger at a philosopher's stone to see what would happen, and it blew up an entire town. That was pretty cool. I remember that.
I remember that as well.
We had
A literal
players
torpedoing of a
try-
campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had players try to use Dimension Door, which is like a short-ranged visual teleport, to try and teleport on top of a moving dragon. And I had them like make an intelligence check to time it right, and they failed and they missed, and then they fell, a mile or something. And the other player below them was like, I catched them. And I'm like, well, you have to make a roll to get underneath them and catch them. And they said, fine. And they killed the roll. I'm like, cool. They land on you. You both die. And then she was like, wait, no. What if I missed him? I don't think I could get there in time. But they both died. And then they used the one wish spell that they had to roll back time 5 minutes to not
was
have to
great.
do that. That was pretty good.
That's one of my favorite D&D moments ever. It was so funny.
That was pretty good.
All right, well, that's it. We should be back next week at the same time. I don't think anybody has any alterations to the plan. So, Nick, what are you up to?
Not much. Come down to the stream, check out Tides of Death next week. If you've not caught up, you can find all the VODs on my channel on YouTube, which is pretty cool. So, go and do that. Follow me on Twitch, etc. etc.
Moody Booty.
Twitch.tv/MrMouton. I'll be back tomorrow for some more Binding of Isaac.
Koibu.
Tomorrow we're going to do some more story time. We're reading the Iliad and sort of dissecting it and looking at a map and trying to figure out what's going on and trying to like understand what's actually happening and translate it somewhat into like a more, modern human concept.
All joys.
Yeah. But other than that, you should definitely sub to the Patreon, because if the show only has another, 8 to 15 sessions left, you don't want to be the person who wasn't able to support it while it was running.
True.
Meet your flares.
Of the Iliad, how much of the Iliad was like the Battle of Troy and everything? It was a smaller. It was
All
like.
of the Iliad.
Is the entire Iliad? Was that?
Well, they're all sieging Troy during it. At least the first book is just the Achilles and Agamemnon bitching at each other and being like, "You're a dick! No, you're a dick! Well, I'm gonna take the woman that you're raping. Well, she's mine. I want her for myself." They're just like whining like little bitches.
Gotcha.
But they're in the camp outside the walls of Troy.
Okay. Oh yeah, and the guy wouldn't fight because he's a big bitch. So his friend stole his armor and he goes out and he gets fucking killed, right?
Yeah, well, we haven't gotten there yet.
Oh
but-
fuck! Spoiler
Spoilers.
alert.
Oh, you
Sorry.
just spoiled them.
My bad.
Yeah, spoiled that 3,000-year-old story.
Rip.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, the Odyssey is the next book. Oh god.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Odyssey's Odysseus going home.
Well, have fun with that. I'll be back in like an hour and 20 minutes. Or I mean, I'll keep streaming, but I've got like an AMA that I'm doing on some server in an hour and 20 minutes. But otherwise, yeah, we'll be back in a week to do D&D. Should be fun. See you guys next week. Yeah.
See you next week.
Bye.